Peace, family. I hope all is well. I hope your Saturday is going well. Make sure you like, share, subscribe. Make sure you go to dynastymir.com. Tours, guys. We are still rolling to Sierra Leone in November 20th through December 3rd for the no, not for the Oshun Festival. November 20th through December 3rd. Citizenship is available to those who qualify. Again, citizenship is available to those who qualify. So please come and join us in Sierra Leone. Visit Danfo, 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 DANFO Africa. Please visit Danfo, DANFO Africa. We would love to have you guys. It will be a blessing. It will be a blessing for you guys to come and join us in Sierra Leone. Then Nigeria is coming up August 8th through the 17th. August 8th through the 17th. Somebody said that senator is a Caribbean immigrant, not a foundational Black American. Facts. Okay, well, listen, Jaleesa, we'll get into that. We will get into that. You're more than welcome to call in. We will definitely get into that. So, um, Nigeria, August 8th through the 17th. Nigeria, August 8th through the 17th for the Oshun Festival. August 8th through the 17th. And please visit donfo.africa, Donfo, DANFO.Africa for the Oshun Festival, August 8th through the 17th for Nigeria, November 20th through December 3rd for Sierra Leone. And we would love to have you guys. Would love, um, you know, Dynasty, that cover photo. And, I'm going to give a disclaimer. I'm going to give a disclaimer before we get started on that. But visit donfo.africa, and then also as well, I have the IFA is dope shirt, which could be found at ileamir.com. ileamir.com. You can find the IFA is dope shirt at ileamir.com. I don't know, Audrey. Sometimes they just be making stuff up. Oh, she ain't ADOS FBA. She from the Caribbean. Oh, she from Africa. I mean, they don't be knowing, Audrey. They have no clue. They just be now what it is. If a Black person in America is clowning, automatically they're just gonna say that they're not ADOS FBA. And yes, Frenchie, I do. We ship worldwide. Frenchie, we ship worldwide. Go to the site ileamir.com and grab you some gear. We ship worldwide. So yeah, Audrey, that's what's going on now. I mean, now if any Black person, all right, acts a fool here in America, ADOS FBA, man, they from the Caribbean. They ain't from here. They from they ain't from here. They ain't one of us. Just automatically not knowing, having no idea where they're from. Same thing they did with Eric Holder, who killed Nipsey Hussle. Man, he's from Belize. He's from Belize. Okay, what proof do you have that he's from Belize? Man, no, you show the proof that he ain't. So that's what they're doing now, man. That's just, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. Her ratchet, degenerate behavior is why I left New England, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island. Do they really be acting that ratchet? Oh, Devin, do me a favor. If you're watching this, Devin Grace, if you have a shirt, do me a favor. Take a picture with it on and send it to me. Yes, they did ship slaves from America to the Caribbean, but basically what they're saying is that her roots don't go back to the 1870 census or some stuff like that. I don't know, man. It's to the point now. It's comical and it's a mess now. Yeah, so that's what they mean. Yes, the slave ships did come from the Caribbean to America, but what they're saying is that she don't have the lineage from 1870. That's what they're saying. Yeah, send me email. Take a picture with it. Send me email. Search for Hoover.com. for Huru and search for Huru.com. Yeah, it's comical to this point. So if you're black in America and you do anything that's dysfunctional, they automatically, default. They ain't from here. They're from the Caribbean or somewhere else. They don't have lineage. They ain't got the lineage here in America. That's what they're doing automatically. So yeah, it's just like I said, it's become comical to this point. It's become comical to this point. Yeah, blame. There you go, Alan. Blame the tethers. There you go. So anything that's functional, that's black related in America, ADOS, FBA, they're deflecting to default to blame the tethers. They're blaming the tethers now. Automatically off the rip. No investigation, no proof, no nothing. It's those tethers that's doing all that. So yeah, that's what's going on. So she said she's Caribbean. Okay. Well, I mean, she's Caribbean. She's Caribbean. If she said it. And she said it, but at the end of the day, she got voted. And that's the thing. At the end of the day, these non-FBA, ADOS, they're running for office and they're getting voted in. So, I mean, that's what's going on. So if she's Caribbean, she's Caribbean. But listen, do me a favor, post the link in the chat room. Post the link in the chat room, or post the link in the chat if you can, just proving that she's from the Caribbean. She's from the Caribbean. She's from the Caribbean. At the end of the day, like I said, somebody's voting for these people, and they're getting in office. But let me start off with this disclaimer, because I don't want to seem hypocritical. All right, Dynasty Amir do love a fat, jiggly, shaking booty. I'm trying to keep it PG-13. I ain't gonna say the A word. I do enjoy a twerking butt, twerking nice booty here and there. Okay. Yeah, I do love some dance hall queens. I grew up watching Patra. I grew up watching Patra. So I'll be lying to say I don't like, no slow wines, Yeah, I'll be lying. I'll be lying. And I don't want to sound hypocritical. Like I said, I love a fat, shaking and slow whining. I'll be lying. Yeah, I mean, what heterosexual man won't enjoy? What straight man will not enjoy a fat booty shaking? I mean, come on. What man will not enjoy a fine sister, hips, big booty, shaking? Like, what man is not gonna enjoy that? Yeah, I used to love Patra. That little worker man video. I used to love Patra. I grew up on Patra. Yeah, I'll keep it at 100. Like, I'll be lying. I'll be lying to be like, I don't like a fine woman with a big booty shaking and slow whining. I'll be lying. Trevor, be quiet. Be quiet. But this is the thing. This is the problem with a lot of black folks these days. In fact, this is the problem. Yes, I enjoy a fat booty. I enjoy watching Patra slow wine. Loved it. Every second of it. Elementary school, junior high. When that worker man video came on and she was just doing the little slow wine, I used to love it. But the problem with black America, right? Well, black folks in general, here in America, there's a time and place for everything. Again, there's a time and play. True earthling. I'm gonna get into that. You can't be it's not professional. Exactly. There's a time and place for everything. I'm saying I'm not saying a senator can't twerk at the club or at a concert. I'm not saying she can't do that. But for votes, I mean, come on, for votes, I'm saying for votes, is that what we're doing now? And we started this nonsense this last election. Take your booties to the poll. Again, I don't mind some fine sisters sliding down. I don't mind seeing some fine sisters slide down a pole. Again, I don't mind seeing some fine sisters slide down a pole. I'll be lying. And I know a lot of people like that. You shouldn't be objectifying our women. You shouldn't be objectifying our women, Dinus. I'm like, listen, look, I would be lying to say I don't like a fat booty. I would be lying if fine sister walks by, I ain't turning my head. Neck ain't breaking. I'll be lying if I'm driving down the street and I see a fine booty. I'm hitting the corner. I'm busting a U-turn in the middle of the street. Listen, I'm driving. I see a beautiful sister walking. I'm hitting the Yui. I'm busting in the middle of the street. What's up? I'm pulling up. Oh, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Sorry about that. Hold on. Sorry about that. No, see, no. See, just Juanita, I disagree. I disagree because, like I said, there's a time and place for everything, and in certain settings, when you're doing this, when you're acting out this type of behavior, some people are going to lose respect for you and not take you serious. That's the problem. Hold on one second, guys. Okay, there we go. Okay, we're good. Sometimes this is like a lag. Sometimes so I just want to make sure. But yeah, I'll be lying saying that I see a big booty, I'm not gonna holler or not gonna look. I got a girl right next to me. Let me tell you how trifling I am. I can't help it. I got problems. I can't help it. I can have a girl right next to me, and I see a big booty. I'm looking. I can't help it. Like I can't help it. I know it might be disrespectful, but I can have a girl right next to me. I can have a girl right next to me. If I'm in the car or we walking, I see a big booty. I'm looking. I can't help it. I'm not a. I'm just. I can't help it. Like I remember one day, This is when I was in L.A. I was with the mother of my child, and we was driving. We was in L.A. off of Silver Lake. I think Silver Lake or Sunset or Silver Lake, and there was this girl walking, and she was right in the passenger seat. There was this girl walking up the street. She ain't have no bra on. She had a shirt. Nipples was just hard, and I was just staring. I was at the light just staring. I couldn't help it. And so she just the mother of my child. She looks at me. And, I mean, she didn't say nothing. She just started laughing. But I can't help it. Like I can't help it. Like her nipples was just all hard and she had no bra on. I was just staring. I can't help it. And the mother of my child was just looking at me like, I'm in the car with you. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. I can't help it. I can't help it. I'm sorry. I be looking. I listen. Okay, here we go. I just love a beautiful, natural. Shout out to Fitzgerald. I just love a beautiful, natural woman. I just love women. I just love beautiful, natural, just women. Like I just love a beautiful. I'm gonna keep repeating myself. I just love a beautiful, natural, just woman. That's what I love. Just natural. Like none of that fake stuff. Just, just, just a woman. Listen, the senator, she's nice. Like I like a curvy, just beautiful, just woman. Yeah, no, don't need no makeup, don't need no cake face makeup, none of that. Just a beautiful little foundation. You can see the curves, and the thing I love about women, like even the slim ones, like when they naked, like when you break them down, they still got like that, just like that. Like for me, what turns me on, of course, is the face and like that hip area to the thighs, like just that right there. That's what does it for me. Because like I said, even like the kind of slim, skinny girls, they're deceivingly thick. Like they're really like they're deceivingly thick. Even she's listen, the senator, she ain't bad. Like I'll be hating, even though what she was doing was clowning, and I wouldn't vote for her. But like I said, there's a time and place for everything. Yeah, she got cakes. The senator's fine. But like I said, even the slim girls, even though I like a full, like a woman, even the slim girls, like they're deceivingly skinny, but when you break it down, like they still got that. I love hips, a pretty face, natural face, and I love hips, like hips, thighs. Like I like waist, slim waist. I like that's what I like. Because like I said, the skinny girls be deceivingly thick. Shout out to shout out to Fitzgerald. Yeah, I can't keep my eyes off. I can't help it. So like, I can't help it. Like even if I'm on a date with another woman, I see another fine woman, I can't help it. I'm looking. I can't help it. Yeah, unfortunately, she's part of the alphabet crew, but I mean, she's still a nice. She's nice. I'll be lying. Like I'm not gonna hate because I've seen other brothers talk about her, and give their commentary on her twerking video, and they're like, "Oh, she's nasty. She don't look good." I'm like, "Y'all tripping? She's nice. She's an upgradable 7. I mean, she's cute. I mean, she's like I could like a she's built like a woman. I mean, her face is like a 6, or she's an upgradable 7, or upgradable 6, 7, and her body's cool. Stop hating. Like I'm not gonna hate. What she was doing was not tasteful for. She's an upgradable 6. So she's about, you get her nicer right, she could be an 8 on a good day. But when you wake up next to her in the morning, she's a 6. But when you take her out, dollar up, get her nice, she'll be an 8. She'll be about a 7.5 to 8. But she got a nice body. Like y'all saying she don't have a nice body, y'all hating. She got a nice, thick, she a full figured, nice woman. There you go. Yeah, exactly, Black Opal. Exactly. I wouldn't vote, but we can have some fun. There you go. She wouldn't get my vote, but we can have some fun. Yeah, once you get her nice and dolled up, she's an 8. When she wake up in the morning, she's a 6. Unfortunately, you're right. She's part of the alphabet crew, so it'll never happen. But I'm just saying, I know she is. I know she is. You said she had Mississippi 6. Yeah, she country fine. There you go. She country fine. There, Blockavelli. She country fine. Like we used to say in the South. Like when I was in Mississippi. You know, my family's from Mississippi, and I live in Georgia. She country fine. That's what she is. She country fine. RP, I specifically said I wouldn't vote for her. I said she won't get my vote at all. Like I said, she would not get my vote at all. But we can have some fun. But like I said, she country fine. And anybody that says she's not, they lying. Cornbread fed. There we go. That's a thick country girl. I guess from the Caribbean. I don't know, or up north now. But when I first came to Georgia, when I was in Mississippi, country fine, cornbread fed. There we go. Said Kataji Brown. I got to see some older pictures of Kataji Brown. She kind of aged, so I don't. I got to see some older pictures of her. You'll be surprised, Mo. There's a lot of black in Providence, Rhode Island. There's, in fact, in Providence, Rhode Island, there's a large Liberian population in Providence, Rhode Island. But yeah, she country fine. Well, we're not saying she's a country girl. It's just in Mississippi, in Georgia, she'll be considered country fine. That's what we're saying. She'll be country fine. But anyway, so let's look at the video. Let's look at the video. Let's look at the video. Hold on. Let's look at the video. We're about to play the footage. And guys, do me a favor, okay? If you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button. Hold on, guys. Let me try to find a video. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to find a video. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me try to find a video. Okay, where's the video at? Hold on, guys. I'm trying to find the video. Hold on 1 second. Guys, do me a favor, hit the like button. We'll find the video here in a second. Okay, hold on. Here we go. Tiara Mac. Hold on, guys. Give me a second. We're gonna take a look at the video. We're gonna take a look at the video. Now, with her locks, she's like, okay, when she's bald headed, she's a 5. She's a 5 when she's bald headed. With her locks, she's an upgradable 6. But she can't cut her hair. Like, see, a lot of sisters, y'all gotta understand, like, and don't take it personal. Some of y'all don't look right with the no hair look. It just a lot of it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit a lot of y'all. A lot of y'all, you got no business cutting your hair. Like it don't look right. Like for a lot of y'all, it don't look right when you cut your hair off. Like some of y'all ain't got no business cutting your hair. You know, I just want to put that out there. Some of y'all should not be cutting your hair. It don't look right. I know sometimes y'all be going through a lot and be having y'all midlife crisis. I don't know. But listen, before you cut your hair, okay, or cut it bald, reach out to me first. Okay. I will give you an honest opinion if it's gonna look right. Because some of y'all heads just saying, like me, I can't cut my hair bald. My head is just I can't do it. Nah, just grow your natural hair out. But like I said, some of y'all ain't got the right shape type head to be having, cutting your hair off bald. It just don't look right. So when she got hair, she an upgradable 6. When she bald headed, she like a 5. She's a 5, and not even upgradable. Not even an upgradable 5. She's a 5. But when she got her hair, she's an upgradable 6. Easy. I'm not even gonna hate. Hold on, we'll do it right here. Hold on one second. See, I'm trying to find just her video. I don't want to play anybody else's video, and then here we go. We'll do it right here.
Vote Senator Mack. The first openly gay senator of Rhode Island found a new way to get some new votes. Now the black people of TikTok are outraged by this woman. After twerking on TikTok, they said she is twerking for votes. They question, do black women want to be taken serious? And all Tiara Mack has to say, vote Senator Mack. The first openly gay senator of Rhode Island found a new way to get some new votes. Now the black people of TikTok are outraged by this woman.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Dude. But once you have intersected,
Vote Senator Mack. Vote Senator Mack.
Senator Mack. Vote Senator Mack. Vote Senator Mack.
Yeah. Like I said, it's just there's a time and place for everything. And this is why a lot of people don't take the black community serious. Now, the white liberals, white liberals love to see you guys clowning like this. I'm not saying white conservatives are any better, but white liberals love to see you clowning like this. But I would say this: it just there's a time and place for everything, okay? And like I said, white liberals love to see y'all clowning like this because it's not really the black. Listen, it's white, just like with Ilhan Omar, your girl who's the mayor in Chicago, Heavyfoot, Lori Heavyfoot, whatever her name is. And this girl right here, it's white liberals that put these women in office, put these people in office. They love this stuff. They love this. But they don't, but see, you notice they don't do this stuff. They don't clown like this. Yeah, it was probably a white woman behind it. I know it was. I know. I'll say white conservatives are better. I'll go in and say yes, white conservatives are better. Yeah, Lori Heavyfoot in Chicago. Because the difference between white conservatives and white liberals fund. I mean, they fund and they support this type of dysfunction. That's what I mean. White liberals sponsor and fund and encourage this type of dysfunction, and they support it. That's why. White conservatives, they're not going to support this type of dysfunction. But white liberals, the more black dysfunction, the more they'll support it and get on board with it. So, like I said, it's white liberals who are supporting girls like her. But again, I ain't gonna hate. She's an upgradable 6. With her hair, she's an upgradable 6. Black Lives Matter, perfect example. There you go. Black Lives Matter, perfect example. It was white liberals who made Black Lives Matter. The one we had, the Black Lives Matter we have today. It was white liberals. Like I said, when it comes to black folks, white liberals will support, fund, donate, contribute to our dysfunction en masse. White conservatives aren't going to do that. So, no, it's Lori Heavyfoot. Lori Heavyfoot. Lori Bigfoot. But hold on, I got something else for you guys too. Hold on, I gotta play it. I definitely gotta play this. Hold on one second. But like I said, I ain't gonna hate because you got brothers on here talking about some. She don't look good. She fat. She don't look good. Nah, she's cool. Like she's cool. Like she's cool. Like she's cool. Like, you know, yeah, brothers on there. Oh, she's nasty. She not this. She not that. Just like I said, there's a time and place for everything, and this was not the place or the time. But she's cool. Hold on one second. Let's see here. Hold on. Let me play this real quick. So this is Senator Crystal Matthews, and I want you guys to listen to this. This is how low Black politicians are here in America. And this is why nothing gets done in the Black community in America, because of these Black politicians are just the worst. Hold on, here we go. Listen to this.
My first question is this: what can we do to help you with your campaign, first of all?
I know y'all both activists, and I am too in my own way, right? I'm very much in a lot of ways, but I know how to turn it off and turn it on. You know, I know how to be in certain spaces. You know, you got to be able to turn it off and turn it on.
Correct.
So, like, we literally, y'all, like, this is the only way you're gonna change the dynamics in South Carolina. You got to find some folks that are a little bit polished, maybe are not, you know, nobody really knows them that well. Maybe they haven't really been politically active, but we need some secret sleepers. Like, we need them to run as the other side, even though they for our side. And we need them to win.
Right.
Because that's how, like, I mean, we can battle them in public all day. As long as we know we working for the same goal. You know, I tell my colleagues up here all the time, I'm going to be that bitch every day of the week. Got too many people that ain't out for us and look like us. I mean, but honestly, these ain't the same type of Black people that I grew up around.
Yes, this is a politician. This is a politician.
I don't recognize these Black men. So I don't Black because I don't understand the type of Black that they are. Now, can I talk intelligently? I can move in all kind of circles, but I'm a nigga at heart. I love Black people. I feel safest around my people. So for me, I feel like, y'all, we need sleepers, but we need a group of sleepers.
Hold on. Now, remember we did the show? I'd rather you call me an N-word, but don't you dare call me a cotter. Remember when we did that show? You could call me the N-word, but don't you dare call me a cotter. See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about.
We need some folks we need some folks that can wear all black at night and take their yard signs down when they sleeping. The same they do to us, just the other way.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? We ain't gotta make a bunch of noise about it. We ain't gotta go live about it. Just don't say just like when somebody drop money and you pick it up. You pick that up and keep walking. And then when you get in there, when we get enough of us in there, we can wreak havoc for real from the inside out. Then we can flip some from the inside out. We gotta take back some of these seats, especially in these local elections. You know, we need people to run as Republicans in these local elections. And we need, I mean, they family, they can't tell their family, you know, period. Because I can't trust family. Family, the first one turn on you. You can't tell them. So, you know, like, man, I didn't think he would ever be a Republican. You know, they're going to have to be able to, listen, when I say they're going to have to be able to take some I'm talking about at the dinner table at Thanksgiving when they on the Republican ticket and everybody at the table looking at them sideways like, I can't believe y'all trying to They got to be able to take that on their chin. Yep. And I still got to struggle to raise money for my campaign. Where the is my black people with money? I don't care about no dope money. Give me that dope boy money. Where the duffel bag boys? Find you somebody in your family that don't even know you donating to my.
And see, and this is what I'm talking about. You got now Marcel Dixon. Is it Marcel Dixon, you guys? Is that his name? Marcel Dixon was only able to raise $200,000, right? You know, and you got FBA, ADOS. Oh, we're gonna get our reparations. We're gonna bum rush the White House, and you know, they gonna give us our reparations. But y'all ain't supporting the black politicians. This woman taking dope money now from Negroes in prison. Y'all ain't supporting your politicians. But y'all gonna bum rush the White House and get reparations. But y'all ain't supporting the politicians.
My campaign and put that under their name. Side out. We gotta take back some of these seats, especially in these local elections. You know, we need people to run as Republicans in these local elections. And we need, I mean, they family, they can't tell their family, you know, period. Because I can't trust family. Family, the first one turn on you. You can't tell them. So, you know, like, man, I didn't think he would ever be a Republican. You know, they're going to have to be able to, listen, when I say they're going to have to be able to take some I'm talking about at the dinner table, at Thanksgiving, when they on the Republican ticket and everybody at the table looking at them sideways like, I can't believe y'all trying to They got to be able to take that on their chin. Yep. And I still got to struggle to raise money for my campaign. Where the is my black people with money? I don't care about no dope money. Give me that dope boy money. Where the is dope? Where the duffel bag boys? Get you, find you somebody from your family that don't even know you donating to my campaign and put that under their name.
All right, y'all. So that's where we at. That's where we're at now. That's where we're at. But guys, listen, link's gonna be in the chat room. If you'd like to call in, link is in the chat room. Again, if you'd like to call in, links in the chat room. You're more than welcome to call in on and hop on the show and add to the convo. Again, link is in the chat room. And not only having, hold on, see, this is what's crazy. Are we this dumb? So she was talking to somebody in prison. Like, aren't all the phone calls in prison recorded? Unless he was on a burner cell phone, I don't know. Okay, or the brother set her up. Because I'm like, all the calls in prison are recorded. So if she called him on a cell phone, he was recording that cell phone. He was recording that cell phone. All right, links in the chat room if you want to call in and add to the conversation. Link is in the chat room. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We need to cleanse America from y'all ain't doing nothing, man. Stop it. Stop all that, please. Please stop all that. Stop all that. Link is in the chat room. You're more than welcome to hop on and join and chop it up again and chop it up with us. So if not, guys, what we'll do, we'll start closing out here in about 5 minutes. But links in the chat room if you guys want to call in. Again, please hit that like button. And we got all the tours coming up. We got the tours coming up. August for Sierra Leone. Again, in August for August for Nigeria. I apologize. August 8th through the 17th for Nigeria. August 8th through the 17th for Nigeria, August 8th through the 17th for Nigeria. Then we got Sierra Leone, November 20th through the 30th, November 20th through the 30th. But guys, links in the chat room. Don't be shy. If you want to call in, yeah, if you want to call in, you're more than welcome to call in. You don't be shy. Hey, Baruti, why don't you just click the link? Baruti, you always type it in the chat room, man. Just how about just call in? You know, guys, I don't mind reading your questions in the chat, but I mean, it's like call in. So, Baruti, click on the link and call in. Hold on one second. Yeah, click on the link and call in, Baruti. How would she be setting him up? All right, Marcus, go ahead and call in. Dennis, do you allow other vendors to sell on your website? At this time, no. But let me know what you're trying to do. Send me an email and just let me know what exactly you're trying to do. So if you want to advertise, you can do that. Again, if you yes, I use StreamYard. That's the link, the StreamYard link. Just click on the link. But if you want to advertise, I mean, you know, I'm more than welcome to talk to you about that if you like to advertise. So yeah, but links in the chat room. Go ahead, Marcus. You got to mute yourself.
Oh, okay. Yeah, man. Salute to you and your show tonight, man. Oh, it's nighttime where I'm at here, King. Yeah, I was peeping that. I like the idea what she had, but she was foolish enough to do it on a phone with a guy in prison. Even if he has his own cell phone, the NSA can tap into those calls. So that's a call you have in private, those kind of conversations, because I'm sure white politicians have conversations just like that. They just don't get caught. So, you know, as my father used to tell me, he says her only crime is she was just too foolish, too impatient to do it properly. She got caught. So
right.
I like her way of thinking, but you know, she just it just makes all the black politicians look kind of bad now. And who knows? Maybe she's, I don't know. Maybe it'll work. I don't know about getting no sleepers like that. She just spilled all the beans, brother. Everything just out there. I'm like, yeah. I read the book by Sam Greenlee, The Spook That Sat Next to the Door, and then he made a film out of it. It was the same premise, but the guy who worked for the CIA for 5 years, he trained and then he quit, went back to Chicago, became a social worker, and he organized all the street gangs to unite to fight against, you know, America. Mm-hmm. It was a work of fiction written back in the 60s. So that I understand. I dig her mindset. I just, the way she came off though, talking about, you know, I'm a nigga, I love my people. Yeah, I love my people too, but I ain't gonna do no stupid shit like that. I work for my constituents. I'm a politician. I'm gonna be stupid enough to get on the phone and talk to a brother locked up about what I'm scheming. She's supposed to have that conversation at somebody's house, that she trusts, is not a politician, have a cookout, go in the basement, have a conversation. You know what I'm saying? Go on a holiday somewhere and have that private conversation, but not like this. It was just her method of how she was doing it. That's all. But still, it's not a good look, man. It's definitely not a good look. At all. I don't know. I mean, what's your thoughts on that? Do you think with her idea, with her heart's in the right place, but she just did a stupid thing, or you just against it altogether?
Up to the point now, after listening to Jose Williams, like 99.99% of these black politicians, their heart is not in the right place, period. Because I mean, if you look at the black community as a whole here in America, we got all these black politicians, and you see the trajectory that we're going in. I don't think any of their hearts are in the right place. It's a business, it's a job, so
a career politician, yeah,
right.
Yeah. You live in California, you up in the Sacramento area. I'm born East Coast, but I spent most of my life in LA, and some of those people have been career politicians like Maxine Waters. They've been there. She was there back when I was like 28 or something, 27, 20. She's been there forever, man. At least 30 years.
Right.
And the only time you see her face come up is if, anything that she'd come up and pontificate and make herself look good. She becomes a savior. Right. Like when they had their Roe v. Wade decision come down, here she comes.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, I wanted to hear her mouth. I don't know what she said about this politician. Are they ganging up on her, or are they got a?
They're gonna try to keep that on a hush. This right here, they're gonna keep it on a hush.
Well, it is midterm election, so anything goes. Who knows how it's going to turn out?
Exactly.
How did this shit get leaked anyway?
Well, only thing I could think of, either she called like the normal prison line that's recorded, or the guy she called was talking to her on his burner phone, and he recorded it and leaked it. That's the only thing I could think of. So with that being said, dude on the burner phone, he might be a snitch.
I know it was Project Veritas who exposed it. So they do a lot of these things where they read, they are able to get like a lot of the people who are involved with the V from these pharmaceuticals. They were able to get them on video saying incriminating things for the company and all that kind of stuff. So Project Veritas, they're very good when it comes to journalism. They have their cells. So I know that's how it's exposed.
I'm gonna have Project Veritas, how they're able to like.
I don't know. They have people in all kind of places, all kind of people. Mm-hmm. So yeah. But I know that I know it's a lot of times the conversations, it's doom and gloom. When it comes to us, I know I want to shout out there are a lot of great people doing a lot of good stuff. There are a lot of great Black men and women and teens doing amazing work. Unfortunately, that doesn't get the attention, but it does bother me that our public image is doo-doo, literally doo-doo, and it just gets worse by the day, to the point where the shock and awe is gone. I'm kind of numb to it. You just kind of have to kind of live with this public image of your race just in the toilet. It just kind of okay, this is what it is at this point. Which is, I don't know how else to digest it at this point, but unfortunately, being Black, you have to have a very thick skin and be ready to be just in a perpetual state of embarrassment, because there's going to be some fool and there's going to be somebody with a camera, and that fool's image is going to be broadcast across the globe, and you could be in a shrine in China and people are going to be looking at you like the fool they saw on some broadcast 2 days ago. So I don't know what else to do at this point, or say, but I think we just all have to work on having a thick skin, because the bad, you know, is louder than the good.
A snapshot. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I just think it's very interesting what Chrissy just said, because like one public incident from one person affects our whole collective image, and it shouldn't be like that. But unfortunately, our image in the media and across the world is being viewed as a monolith, and any kind of dysfunction, any kind of thing like that is what gets broadcast. Now, I showed that video of the Rhode Island senator twerking on the beach to my fiance, and she was like, do you think that she did that by herself? Like there wasn't any of her friends or family around? Because had there been someone there with her, they might have said,
there were some white women around, I think.
Yeah, but were they with her? Because they might have, because if she was there with a friend, they might have just said to her, actually, this isn't a good idea.
But Snapshot, you don't
But after
understand.
she twerked, she went and picked up the camera as if the camera was resting on something and she's just talking into it. So I'm just thinking, did she just do that just off the fly and just thought it was a good idea?
I think she did it off the fly. I think it was totally impromptu. I don't think it was scripted. It sounded like it was organic off her head. Yeah. She wasn't even thinking about it being recorded. No one could be that. I don't think anyone's that self-sabotaging. She really thought she was in the clear when she had that conversation.
Absolutely.
It just sounded like that.
And it's just like how, just, I don't know, because I haven't seen anyone come out and defend her. Everyone seems to be like on it and just telling her this really isn't a good look. And
well, no one's going to defend her. I mean, in like I said, in public they can't defend her, but in private, I agree with her. She was just foolish on her delivery. Talking to a guy in prison, you know those conversations are going to be recorded. Even if he has a burner phone, they can tap into that. I mean, she wasn't even thinking. So if there were some women, white women, or whoever behind her, egging her on, it sure seems like that they knew this could happen.
I think that's two different things.
And they just little roll with this little one in her fucking mouth and talking, digging her own grave, putting her foot in her mouth. And,
is the lady on the phone the same lady as the one on the beach?
No.
I know. That's a different senator. I believe that's a different person.
I was talking about the one on the beach, the one that dynasty.
Oh, pardon me. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the one that was talking to the prison. You're talking about the lady that was twerking. My bad.
Yeah. Like, I just don't think, I don't know why she would think that.
I don't agree with that. That shit's embarrassing. That makes women look bad. If I was a woman, if I were a woman, I'd be pissed right now. Black women, she would be representing you.
Yeah, hold on, Snapshot. Aurora Martinez, go ahead.
Yeah, to be honest, this is what I think. Like, I agree with most of the stuff Chris has said, but I don't understand, like, some of us women, this lady, she's in the public eye, why would you, nothing wrong if you want to go to the beach and things like that, but twerking, come on, you could do that at home. I twerk in my house, but you will never catch me on the street out there doing that, because on the street I'm a lady and I represent myself very well, being a black woman. Because everywhere you go now is like, we as black people are like, something wrong with us. Some of us, yes, walk the straight line, but some of us make people like us look bad. I don't know how I'm going to defend her. I just don't know how.
And I think even for young girls, I mean, you're a you're a state official. So we got the, sorry to say, the ratchet class who are doing it. It's like, okay, that's the ratchet class. But now this is the woman, she went to Brown. She's supposed to be an educated person. She's supposed to be a political official. Come on, when people do these things, do they think that we have children in this country? Do they think about the children? Do they think about what they see? How they feel about themselves? What you're teaching them? Do they think at all?
It's worldwide. The internet is all over the world. People all over the world see that, so they get that mindset when they see a black woman, even a politician. Okay, she's a twerking hoe. They're going to think that. So it's already out there now. That genie's out the bottle. You can't put it back in now. because she's in a position of power. So you're right. It's not just affecting young girls in America. It's people all over the world can get that image of our women and think, God damn, these men can't handle their women.
And I think Dinah said something really interesting earlier about like how white liberals will cheer on us when we act in dysfunction and boost that and promote that and just carry it on. I had the exact same interaction earlier this week with one, and all of the negative stuff, he's thinking that he's saying it as if it's some sort of way of helping people like champion some sort of like, I don't know, some sort of injustice in that. And I'm just like, nah, that's not a good look. But your need to virtue signal outweighs your common sense. So he can't really talk to them people, but they somehow have the ability to amplify this image over and over and over again. And I just kind of wonder, like, we kind of need to really start thinking about how we hold certain people accountable when they're out there doing their stupidness, because the stupidness just flipping affects our collective image. And I just think we just kind of need to have some sort of way of like correcting that.
Okay, for sure. Hey, Chrissy, you were saying something else, Chrissy?
No, I'm just thinking to myself that because I think about our global racial image, you know what I'm saying? When I go out on the street, I'm careful to, based on everybody have their own body shape, but I try not to look provocative, sometimes I'm in Islamic circles, you know what I mean, around, other racial groups. Arabs, I dress very modestly. Let's talk to my mind, you know what I mean? I don't want, because I don't really care what white people think about us, but it does bother me what the rest of the melanated family thinks about us, because with white people, we have a different history when it comes to them. But for somebody from another part of the world to be meeting us for the first time, and this is it's embarrassing. You understand what I'm saying? And it's just like, man, I don't know. I don't know. Parents, as much as you can, get your kids them off the social media, because you can be teaching the best at home, but if this is what they're seeing online, they're going to pick it up. So we got to do a detox, with your kids, so they're not too into this stuff. Know who their friends are, know who the parents of their friends are. The mindset got to change. And they look like there's a whole class of people we can't reach, because if you're supposed to be Ivy educated, you're a 28-year-old, almost a 30-year-old woman, and you doing this, there's a class we just can't reach. They think that the more degrading is the more empowering. I don't know who told them that. I can't figure it out. I think the more covered you are, the more empowering, because then you're going to listen to my mind. You're not looking at my body. I don't know who told them. And the white women are egging them on, but the white women aren't doing this. I don't see white women doing this stuff. You know what I'm saying? So we got to work on these young people. Don't let them follow, because they will just get worse. I've already seen some of these young people out here doing craziness. Let's work on the young people. Any young people, that's all we can do at this point.
Let's pass to Missy Barr. Go ahead, Missy Barr.
Oh, wow. Hello. High vibration to everyone in the chat. I love y'all. Happy Saturday to every single one of you. Very interesting topic once again, right? So those two sisters, they're not representing Black people, though. Who are they representing? They're not representing Black women. They are Black looking, to be sure, right? They're Black looking, but they are not representing us. Within maybe some
no disrespect, but like what the sister said before you. I'm in Kenya. I'm in Kenya right now. They watch us. They watch us. They look to African American. They see if we're acting a fool, they just shake their head. Whether we like it or not, that woman twerking on the beach is a representation of it.
That's why I said they're not representing us.
It doesn't represent you as an individual, but on the whole, I think most of us aren't like that. Yeah.
I understand it. But the reason why I would say they're not representing us is there are Black issues, right? There are issues, there are general issues that this is something that is going on within the community, whether you're talking about from police, the brutality to childhood mortality. You can say, I mean, so many different issues, a lot of big issues to the smallest issue, right? You can talk about the water in Flint, Michigan, you know, South Carolina, all the water issue. None of those things that's going on in the Black community, right, requires anybody to take off their clothes. None. There is nothing that is going on in the Black community, in the Black world, that requires any woman or any man to bend down for another man. There is nothing. If she's serving Black people, so that is why I say she's not serving anybody here. She's not. Because if she still comes to me and say, in your community, we found out that the water is poison. I need your support. Whoever going to vote for her, going to vote for her. If she can't get the vote, you come back another time. Let the better person. So for her to degrade herself, she's not working for you. Because she's not going to go out there and spoke on your behalf in any way, shape, or form.
Do you know what
she just want to get in there and be able to make a little money and keep getting a check, just like Maxine Water and every single one of them. They're not there for.
So what do you propose? What do you propose? Because I don't live in. I can't vote out of office. I'm not from that state, but I'm saying you have to think of future Black women running for office. She's making them look bad right now.
Oh, I understand.
Black women, no, calm down. Black women who want to run for office are looking like, God damn, she's fucking it up for. I have to say it like that. She's fucking it up for any young Black girl who wants to come behind her. Listen to me, sister. She is ruining Black women's image. She is. She needs to come up there. She needs to apologize, and she needs to leave her seat. She needs to do the right thing, fall on her sword, and get the fuck out and let someone else come in there. And if it's another Black woman, fine. But it may be a white man who takes that position or anybody else. But she has to do the right thing and leave. Save some face. Because right now, the whole world's looking at our women, and they're looking at her and degrading that. She has to apologize. No, she was out of pocket. She's got to apologize for what she's done, and then she's got to step down and leave office, period. That's what she's got to do. She probably won't do it, though.
Marcus,
before she go out there and do it.
What you're saying is 100% true, right? Yeah. But my question is, I wonder, is there going to be her female Black peers in politics? Are any of them going to hold her responsible for that?
No, absolutely not. No, absolutely not. No.
If there are, like what Chrissy was saying, if there are other women of other races who are twerking, they're not in positions of prominence. So keeping this lens focused on Black America, why is it that these types of people are the ones that get these positions? It's like Joe Biden sat down and spoke to Cardi B when he was trying to get the vote, but he's not going to sit down and speak to someone credible who can actually talk about the issues that affect.
Thank you. And how did Joe Biden win the 2020 election? Don't you know Kamala Harris couldn't even win the California primary? She couldn't even win that. The only reason she's vice president is because Joe picked her for vice president because he knew Black women would vote for him.
But why is it that these people get these prominent positions? Do you have any thoughts on that, Dynas?
Well, let Missy Barr finish. Go ahead, Missy Barr. Go ahead.
But that is the entire point, isn't it? You know, at some point, Black people in this country and anywhere else in the world, you have to start understanding this. Those that want to destroy your image for eternity, the idea is not just how do you say to people who have been born well, to people who have the type of genetics that we have, that we had the best of, that we are a complete human being, right? How do you destroy them? How do you destroy them? It's not enough to say that. It's not enough for them to keep calling us monkey. At some point, it's not going to work anymore. It's to start having people that look like these ladies to come out and do what they've done, that's what they're doing. I've been in this country for a long time. I have never seen a white woman or a white man did what she did. She did it knowingly. She did it without, she doesn't give a shit about black people. She did it knowing that she doesn't give a shit about black women. She was going to go ahead and degrade herself a little bit more for a vote. Listen, you can't get me on a good day. I don't drink. When I'm drunk, I don't know what it's like to drink, but I'm telling you that you can't get me to do that in private. How are you going to get me to do that outside? She's 28. I was 28 once. By the time I was 28, I already make a decision not to start wearing clothes that goes above my knees. That was a decision that I make. By the time I was 28, I make a decision that there is a certain way I was not going to dress, certain places you're not going to see me at, right? You can't tell me that at some point that she has not taken time to say, every single one of us as a human being, we have sat down somewhere and say, there are things I'm not willing to do for money. There are things I'm never going to be able to do. I don't want people to see me do. Or if I want to have children in the future, I don't want my children to see this. So she, at some point, has sat down and talked about some of these things. As for the sister who was on the phone, she is utterly stupid. Listen, I have a degree in correctional criminal justice. And I know not just that she herself was being, that they are listening to her calls, they're also listening to the calls of all those correctional officers. Why did she think that she's so special? You're going to tell everything. Black people have to start thinking about something. If you have to commit a crime because you want to become a politician, it's better for you not to run at all. If we as Black people cannot take you as being honest, that you want to do something for your community, if we're not going to vote for you, it's better for you not to destroy your reputation and your name. Now they're going to be looking to put her in jail. For what? Because she did something that white folks do all the time. But she just get on the thing. Well, she don't know that she's on the... Whew. Listen, I will let you guys keep talking about it. I hope we're not going to be stupid and dumb forever.
Okay, let's pass America's First Rifle. Go ahead, America's First Rifle.
Thank you, guys.
I salute to the panel.
Hey, brother,
go ahead.
There's a well, let me meet Missy Barr, then I think we'll be okay. But go ahead, bro.
All right. Am I coming through clear?
Yeah, you good. Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Shout out to you, Donna. Shout out to Chrissy, and shout out to Snapshots Reviews. Shout out to y'all. The thing from this whole situation is like, look, we, for one, Black Americans, we don't care about our image enough for the amount of outrage. I'm glad there is outrage for what she did, but let's just keep it 100. Black Americans, we don't care about how we're represented. For one, we allow other people to dominate our media when it comes to music and movies. Obviously, white people are another religious group that we all know. They control the music, and unfortunately, a lot of our music is degenerate as hell. So that's one, and we're cool with that. As long as we have one or two Black people that look like us, we're totally fine with them representing us on a large scale, because whether we like it or not, that's how people perceive us, and we're cool with that because we don't speak out against it. We don't have alternative media streams like we had before, where it was owned and consumed and produced just by Black people. So on the flip side to this is her, twerking and all that stuff. We are totally fine with that behavior as Black Americans. Common sense folks like us, yeah, we probably care, but the vast majority of Black women are cool with it. Why? Because they go to these white institutions. When I say white institutions, just institutions of higher learning that teach liberalism, and they teach all these schools of thought that imprint what they want people to do. So she kept saying, like, when the outrage came to her, she replied saying, oh, I'm a sitting senator, state senator. I went to Ivy League school. I'm a sitting state senator. And she kept saying that all the time. And it's pretty much she went to Harvard or whatever Ivy League school is to think exactly like that white woman that was filming her shake her butt and represent us. That's her school of thought. So she doesn't have to be an agent. She doesn't have to be coerced. It's just that she is a part of that liberal, neoliberal hive mind. So that's the main thing, is like it's over. Like the minds of a lot of our women that are educated in these institutions, a large percentage of them will do exactly what our neoliberal elites want them to do. Just like you don't need like Tariq Nasheed. Okay, people say he's an agent. It doesn't matter. Like he wants to be on white media like CNN. He wants to be on all these other platforms, but unfortunately, I have people like Don Lemon and Joy Reid that will say every single thing that white people need them to say because they went to their institutions. So it's just, I'm like, pretty much make a long story short, we are totally fine with this representation because we don't attempt to own our own representation and we let other people make money off it. So I just think this is a non-issue until we start getting serious about representing ourselves. I just think it's just not even worth talking about.
And do you
All
know
right, go
the
ahead.
sad?
Hold on. Go ahead, RP.
Oh,
RP,
okay. Hello, can you hear me?
hear you
Can
just
you
fine.
hear
Go
me?
ahead.
Okay, okay, great. Bear with me. I had a couple points. I wrote them down so I could be succinct. I hope everybody's doing well today. So, for the dialogue that happened between the senator and I believe South Carolina and whoever that was, there there's a gentleman by the name of, let me look at it, Shahid Buttar. He is the executive director of the Bill of Rights Defense Committee. And I watched a lecture he did on surveillance in the United States by, at the hand of the NSA. And he had a quote that stood out to me, and I make sure I tell it to students because I teach in like high school, middle school. He said, if you were born after 2002, everything you have read, said, or received that wasn't written down in person has been archived and cataloged by the NSA. So for a politician to not even understand or know that is a bit worrisome. And I'm telling that to your audience, Dynast, because this is a legal notice. You can't say anything. You can't even, like, I had a community organizer that was like, we're going to use Signal. I said, Signal is not secure. Like, I hate to tell you, if it's electronic, they see it. Okay. I do believe she was sabotaged, but then at the same time, there's a saying I heard in the Navy, loose lips sink ships. So with that said, there's a book I would recommend, No Place to Hide by Glenn Greenwald. He interviewed Edward Snowden, and he got into how they do this cataloging and archiving. There's France helping the United States, Israel. I won't continue on that particular topic because something really important that I'm not sure people have said it yet. Um, so this lady is right now, whether she's a willing participant or if she's doing it out of willful ignorance, she is being an agent of diversion and confusion because I suspect that she's marketing her senatorship to white women, correct? But she's
They all are.
sabotaging the image, absolutely, of non-white black women, as that's her leverage. But the reason why she's doing this, I when I found out about what she did, I do a lot of due diligence. I looked her up. So right now, she is trying to get a sexual education bill introduced in Rhode Island that would be, quote, pleasure based sexual relations, different sexual orientations, and same sex relationships for grades 6 through 12. I don't know about you all. That does not sound like a priority of Black America or even white America to have their children learning about how to masturbate, use sex toys, play around with objects, because there's a such thing as object sexuality. You know what I'm saying? And the fact, again, I I teach. I have seen classes where middle schoolers were literally having their time wasted by adults that were teaching them, hey guys, we don't say Mr. and Miss anymore. It's MX. And the look on these children's faces was that like they look like they were stuck in purgatory. They're not getting labs, they're not getting time out in nature where they could do some type of cultivation or learn, you know what I'm saying? They're not even doing puzzling or anything like that. They're getting their time wasted with sexual propaganda. And I really feel like we need to question every person, every Black person, every white person, but charity begins at home, like my grandmother said. Why is this woman at the forefront of this bill? And on top of that, showing, I believe it was Chrissy, she is representing to young women, Black women, whether they're so-called straight or gay, this is how you promote your agenda. You do it by taking your clothes off and literally getting on your head and shaking your behind for the world. You have no dignity left. And I'll mute right after I say this. I'm not a big fan of fiction, but art imitates life. I would also suggest that we watch the movie Idiocracy. It's getting to the point that the people who are dead doorknob stupid, okay? Or I don't care if they went to Brown, I don't care if they went to Pepperdine. This woman to me is demonstrating idiocracy. She's coming across as an idiot. If this is what you have to do, you either in on it or you're dumb. Either way, we shouldn't be with it. She needs to be out. I'll mute my line for now.
Snapshot reviews. Go ahead. I know you wanted to say something. Then we'll pass it to Pardon My Presence. Go ahead, Snapshot.
The last thing I wanted to say was the sad thing is I was listening to another channel and they're saying that she's the only politician that's running in her district. So that will mean that she will get re-election. And when she gets re-election, she might then think, well, see, the twerking worked, so I might as well carry on doing it. Or other people might think she twerked, it worked, so let me do it. And it's just going to get worse. That's all I wanted to say.
Okay, Pardon My Presence. Go ahead, unmute yourself. Pardon.
Hey, Dynast. I just want to add
myself.
People, hello? Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say some people touched on it already, but I just want to add to it. Her history. When she ran in Rhode Island, she ran on a LGBTQ platform, right? There was some type of controversy with the previous senator, and she used that and ran on that platform. So I don't personally think that she represents Black people at all. She represents LGBTQ. And this is why she's doing what she's doing, and she's being unapologetic about it, because she's trying to cater to her fan base or to her constituents, which is that community. It's not Black people, right? And if she ran on that platform before and won, and they propped her up as the first Black queer member of Senate, then that is what she's looking to do going forward, right? On top of that, if she doesn't have the money to campaign properly, then this is where it gets into these stunts where people have to do things to get the eye of the media, to get their name out there for promotion. So she's doing these twerking and all kind of different stunts in order to get people to listen to her and hear what she has to say. And if you looked at that video at the end of it, she said, "Vote for me." She's calling to action to get people to know that she's running. So all of this is for drumming up publicity to get votes. That's really what it's all about. And she's running on that platform. So she's doing what she's supposed to do. She's catering to her audience, which is not us.
I don't agree. Black Americans, we're definitely pro LGBTQ. We're more scared of LGBTQ than we are white people. So even though I wish that was the case, we don't push back against any LGBTQ initiatives. As soon as they say, hey, Blackie, this is what we're doing, we're teaching sex ed to kids, teachers talking to kids, we get right behind it. So I don't agree.
I mean, sorry to interject, pardon my presence, to the point where if you bring up to a man who's voted Democrat, like, hey, Joe Biden wants to make it where boys could play sports with your daughters. What are your thoughts on that? They will completely dance around the issue. Completely dance around it. So America First Rifleman is correct. I mean, going into these elections, we knew Joe Biden said his first duty or his first objective is for the alphabet community, not Black folks, but for the alphabet community. The majority of Black folks still voted for Joe Biden. So I mean,
a lot of us honestly don't understand politics, don't read. Okay, let's just put it out there. Don't really know what's going on. Vote based on who we like and emotion. So I don't know if most Black people really even, maybe it went in one ear and came out the other, the whole LGBT initiatives that he had. I think they just saw this was President Obama's vice president. He is a Democrat, and that's how I vote. No matter what they do, no matter what they say, I make excuses for them, and this is how I vote. I just think that's what it was. I don't know, just how when Trump was running, he said that, he can go in Times Square and shoot somebody in the head. I feel like Democrats could literally really do that. Go anywhere, shoot somebody in the head, and Black people would still vote for them. There would still be a large segment of our population.
Hey, Chrissy, you're breaking. You're going in and out, Chrissy. Chrissy, you're going in and out.
People. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm going in and out.
Yeah, you're going in and out.
Oh, can you hear me now?
I hear you now. Go ahead.
Hello.
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead, Chrissy. Go ahead. Hello, Chrissy, you there? Hello. Can you guys hear me at least? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. She's not.
I hear you loud and clear.
I think the dense crew.
Chrissy, we can't hear you going in and out.
I don't know what's going on.
I mean, you got to think about it. Joe Biden leaned into the camera. Was Charlemagne leaned into the camera, leaned in close, and said, "If you don't vote for me, you ain't Black," and then pulled back out.
Will we expect anything less from a Dixiecrat? From
How many
just
Black
about
women
an
fell
admitted
for that?
racist?
No, how many women voted for him? I voted third party. I didn't vote for Trump or Biden. I knew that was bullshit before he even said that. Leaning into the camera, saying, "If you don't vote for me, you ain't Black." That was some bullshit. That was a clown show.
High 90s. The high 90s.
It was a clown show.
That voted for Democrats.
There are people
There was a
out
stat
here.
that came out.
Now you
Sorry,
gotta
there was a
remember.
stat that
You gotta.
came out
Well,
where-
it's like what Chrissy said. Chrissy said earlier. We're just hyper emotional, and all we heard was we getting Trump out, racist. That's literally the main thing that animates Black Americans is accusations of racism and shake your booty, shaking, dancing, or fried chicken to the polls or whatever, or let's do a fish fry. Those two things, sex
Don't forget the fish fry.
Playing jazz, playing the saxophones, smoking weed. Yeah, but that's what Bill Clinton did 30 years ago on the Arsenio Hall show. I watched that shit, and nothing. The shit show ain't changed yet. We just fall for any bullshit. They'll come to our churches, kiss our babies, sit there. Remember when Hillary Clinton was running for president 6 years ago? She's in there dancing with her little goofy ass. It was bullshit, man. Our votes need to be for sale. We're not getting no tangibles, we need to be saying, you know what, fuck that. When Ice Cube came with the contract with Black America, at least Trump looked at it. And I don't even like Trump, but at least his administration looked at it. Biden's administration, Biden himself said, "Oh, we'll look at." I'm paraphrasing what Biden said. We'll look at it after the election. Well, guess what? The election's been over a long fucking time, and I bet you they'll revisit it right before the 2024 presidential election. Bet you Biden will probably call up Cube again, have a panel and bullshit, and maybe this time, what's her name, Vivica A. Fox will be on Cube's side. Maybe she won't come out and start talking shit. Maybe she'll listen this time and not just ask for what can Black women get from this contract with Black America. I bet you that they just use us, they pimp us, and it's nobody's fault but ours. We gotta stop voting on emotion.
And that's where the accountability conversation that we hate comes in. We have to learn to be accountable. We have to look at ourselves, look at our flaws, and be accountable.
Well, I mean, let's just keep it 100. Let me say this real quick. You got to remember the main thing that Black Americans, we accept virtually nothing, but that's not 100% true. We accept symbolism, okay? Like Ketanji Brown, they got her in. They got the first gay Haitian immigrant to be the press secretary and stuff like that. So it was like, yeah, the Democrats will give us stuff, just symbolic little victories. Mostly it's going to be a gay person or a woman. And they'll just be like, see, we're making progress. No, we didn't do the crime bill that we said, or not crime bill. Well, we're not going to do the police reform bill, which I think is stupid anyway. And like, oh, we did the anti-lynching bill, which was like 60, 80 years too late. So they'll do the symbolic stuff. They'll do that all day, stuff that will cost them literally less than nothing. So once the folks break out of that mindset and like, hey, we actually want tangibles, like actual like reparations of some type, unless that happens, Black folks are going to keep doing what we've been doing, is just going along with Democrats. Because the thing about it is, we want our butter biscuits and little stuff from the Democrats. We don't want it from the racist white people, white Republicans. We want our lovely white Democrats giving us nice butter biscuits. They put a little cinnamon on the top of it and wipe the little butter on top or whatever. But Republicans, we know we'll get our biscuits cold, but the Democrats will have it nice piping hot for us with butter and cinnamon on top.
Wait, but here's the thing. If we're being honest, if we're really attempting to produce justice here, Black people in America are trying to get resources from both sides of the American duopoly. It's just to what degree are they willing to switch sides and for what reason? There are plenty of Black people who are so-called conservative that are staunch Republicans. They may not be as in the same amount as Democrats, but we're on both sides of the aisle. We can't say that we're not. What we haven't realized, because we're forgetting knowledge itself, is that we don't have to agree with any of this. We can come up with candidates, even if these people don't win, and put them on the ballots that we create. Like you said, you voted third party. I voted third party, but I voted for Cynthia McKinney when she ran for president because I knew there was another option. But
shout
I
out
have
to
friends.
shout out to Cynthia McKinney.
Yes, raise up Cynthia McKinney. But the thing is, I talk to male and females that are really conditioned to think there is no other option but the two-party system that has failed us completely. And I think Black people are also mistaking advancement for improvement. Just because we got all this technology and this and that, and people are coming up with new buzzwords, and you're able to shake your behind on a phone and you know what I'm saying, like pander for votes, that don't mean things have gotten better. And we're confusing that severely.
If I could chime in, there was a stat that came out where they were saying out of all of the groups in America, the biggest divide as far as how the genders vote, whether it's Democrat or Republican, the greatest divide is amongst the Black American population, where I think it was a high 90s percentile of women voted Democrat, and about for men, it was in the 80s. Right. So I'm saying that to say that a lot of times the Democrats, they focus on specific groups. A lot of initiatives that they put out there are for women. They're geared towards women. They're geared towards LGBT community as well, too. and they don't really promote family structure, which is where you're able to get Black men into the fold. But they're not focusing on that. They're focusing on those other two communities alone, and this is the issue that we're having, right? And to be honest, I think that Black women need to step up and be more vocal opponents against the Democrats and against all of these initiatives that are going on, to speak out and be pro-family and to be
But
for
they're in control of the
So
Black
I don't see
community.
that.
They're in control of the Black community. They're not going to give up their
No,
power.
they're not. We're in control of our own
Hold on.
community.
We live in not monarchy, a matriarchal society in the Black American community. So they're not going to give up their power over Black men willingly. They, like, the thing about it is, like, the reason why they vote.
Then we have to take the power. We have to take it.
I mean,
everything
the
is
thing about it
taken. We
is,
take the power.
Black men in
We
America
talk
are
too
too
much.
scared.
We get on these panels and we just pontificate and talk shit too. If our women are sitting there falling for this okey doke every 4 years, then we need to get them in line. They're out of pocket. Okay, we gotta fix our own.
They don't need Black men. I'm just saying.
I agree, but here's the thing.
I don't disagree.
If they got power over us, then we need to do something about that.
No, I get it. I don't disagree. I don't disagree with you, Marcus. But the thing about it is, our Black women, they're incentivized. The thing about it is, the less Black families that we have, the easier we are as people to control. And so they deputize Black women. They deputize Black women to literally be the mammy for the Democrat Party. So it's just that.
But how do you think we can get
Black
control
men need
back?
to
We
go
get
our own
control
way.
back one family at a time. A man gets with the woman. He takes care of his family. Okay, that's something I grew up on. It's really that simple.
Let me interject, Marcus. Let me interject, Marcus.
All right, sorry.
I'm gonna tell you what's going on now. Girl, do your thing till you turn 37, girl. Girl, do your thing, girl. Do your thing. Shoot, don't be settling. You young, girl. Don't be settling for these Negroes. Do you, girl. In fact, meet me here at brunch. We having a girl empowerment breakfast brunch, girl. And we gonna tell you how to get it. Don't leave these Negroes alone, girl.
I mean,
Yep,
yeah, that's
that's exactly
true.
what it
It's a
is.
lot of
You
marketing.
even sound like him, Dan. That's exactly what's going on.
I have a question though. So, being like in the corporate realm, I always see, there's the Black Girl Empowerment Summer, there's the Black Woman This Summit and convention and da da da. Where and you want to talk about taking back the community, and maybe it's happening and I don't know. Where are the summits that Black men are? I'm sorry, my son in the background. I'll come back to me.
They don't
Greetings,
have them.
everyone.
They don't have them. I'm sorry, Theo. Go ahead.
Oh, no problem.
We do have them, but I'll be quiet.
They have them, but the thing is, they don't get the backing, which is what the Democrats offer. The Democrats are not about a male-led initiatives. They're not. They're all about female empowerment and focusing on that alone because it creates a divide. And if I could just say, I agree with what Marcus was saying. We need to take back our communities. Now, the challenge to that is the fact that if we're not in the same household, then that's where it becomes difficult, because everybody knows back in the days, if you're in a household, the household votes all together one block. You never see the daughter voted in one way, the brother voted another way, the husband and wife vote separately. We all voted together under one block. If we're all divided, living separately, then we have no control over how we vote, right? So a lot of it has to come down to the household and making sure that we are living together.
Well, okay, again, I'm trying to tell you, Black women don't want us. The thing about it is economics, okay? They go to college because they're the most educated ever. That's what they like to say, which certain percentage, I mean, it's in a certain way true, because a lot more Black women are going to college. But the thing about it is, once they make it through that training school, they don't need they don't need Black men, but it's just once they do that, corporate, especially when they go through corporations or start their own business, they're not incentivized to get with a Black man and make a family. If anything, they're disincentivized because for one, on one side they're told, oh, it's like slavery, catering to your man, that's slavery. What is that? And then at the same time they keep telling them all the horror stories, like black men used to beat the shit out of black women, and all that divisive stuff, that how horrible black men, all the other men in history of the world back in the day were gods and great guys, but black men were the worst. So they have these stories implanted in their head, and then they're saying, oh, taking care of a family's expense or whatever. So they're just like, shoot, it's easier just to twerk, get drunk, just work my ass off, and I got my own house, my own car. Why do I need a black man? So it's economics.
I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt you. No, I will say that a lot of the women that you're talking about, as they get older, they do say, oh, they want to be married now. But the point I was making before
Chrissy, if I can interject real quick, Chrissy, I'm seeing these old women in their 40s, mid 40s, late 30s, like I'm gonna do my own thing, girl. I'm gonna do my own thing. Go ahead.
I guess I'm wrong. I don't know. All my girlfriends are married. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, but no, what I was saying before, as far as taking the community, where are the male summits? Where are the black men summits? Black men getting together with
we have them.
Okay, that's great. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if it's happening.
We have them.
The
They
black
just have
boys,
more money to market their stuff.
You know what I'm saying?
We
Putting
have
your
those
resources
summits.
together. If you're not going to get the corporate, well, you're not going to get the corporate back, and we already know that. Putting your resources together, having summits on relationships, on economics, on business, on how to take back the community, on starting, if it's a neighborhood watch or something, you have to. Nobody's going to give you power. You got to take your power.
Well, Chris,
you know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing, Chris.
But hold on,
Chrissy, that's what I just said. We have to take power. I have a question for you, Chrissy. If we take power, are you going to have our back?
Absolutely. I have y'all back now. I have girlfriends who don't want to talk to me no more because I have y'all back. I'm sorry.
Okay. So the thing is, there are black male summits. It's just the black male summits that are going on are pretty much, I don't want to say MGTOW, but it's pretty much black man, do your own thing. Hey, go to Colombia, go to Brazil, go to Africa. The community's finished.
Well, Prince Dynas, the other thing when I said they don't have them, let me also qualify that by saying I'm speaking from my frame of reference where I live, right? So what I'm seeing, where I stay, if there are black male summits, they're focused on one particular thing, which is criminality, something about criminality, something about policing. I'm talking about where I live. I'm just giving a report.
Yeah,
I'm giving a report. Just hear me out. So we don't live in the same city. That's what I'm trying to say. So again, my frame of reference that I have personally, where I live in the Midwest, what I've seen is one type of summit or gathering ship that black men are kind of funneled into, right? I am not saying outside of where I live that other stuff isn't happening, but I want to also add there just has to be strict codification. Nothing comes up in these discussions about codification. We'll hear people say you got to be on code. What code are they talking about? Have we developed that code? Do we agree on it? How do you basically do something in lockstep with somebody on the other side of the world that's black or African if you're in America? That's the other thing, whether you are a black man or a black woman. We have to get that together, and we have to understand it's time to divest from entertainment. Entertainment is another way to inculcate ill-advised behavior on a person you want to defeat. When are we going to reject this mass indoctrination they've been giving us? Because until then, we're going to have this mindset, summit or no summit.
Go ahead, Theo. Yeah, go ahead, Theo.
Okay, so I got a few points that I want to make. First, starting off with Tierra Mack. I think the criticism is kind of it's too harsh, and it's not really necessary because she wasn't twerking on the job. She wasn't. A few points. She wasn't twerking on the job. Two, She was doing something, looks like she was on the beach doing something that anybody does. She didn't do anything outrageous, right? That's another point. Her twerking has nothing to do with her qualifications, right? So all politicians have their interests, right? She's doing what, a yoga pose, moving her booty. Like, what's the big deal? Like, how does that how does that deviate from the reality that we see, right? And I understand we all have our.
She's a public official. She's a public official.
No,
she's accountable
okay, let
24
me
hours
finish.
a day.
Let me finish. That's why I
She
want
took
to
an
get
oath
to the
before
point.
she took that job. She took an oath.
I got you, Marcus. I got you. So now some other points is this. Some of the worst atrocities ever committed were done by well-dressed people, right? That's just a fact, right? So we are we're making judgments that have nothing to do with the substance of a person's ability on the job, right?
What has she done, Theo?
It's
Theo,
being
what has
done.
she
It's
done?
being done.
Theo, what has
What's
she
that?
done? What has she done?
And that's the question, right? Allow her to do the job and then judge her from that.
She does everything for women, LGBTQ, anti-black family. That's what she does.
Let me touch on that, right? So just as I said, some of the worst atrocities ever committed were, if you look through history, were by well-dressed people, right? On top of that, some of the greatest creations to humanity or contributions to humanity may have come from people who were LGBTQ.
Give me an example. Give me an example. Give me an example.
James Baldwin is one.
I said may. I said may, right? I'm not saying definitively this is so, but we don't know that, right? So we don't know what people do in their private lives. We know who comes out and we hear about that. But we don't know with the things that we enjoy or we benefit from in life. We don't know who sometimes are behind those things or what their sexual preference is, right? So you can't dismiss people based on their sexual preference, because what they contribute may not have anything to do with what they do in the bedroom, right? So that's one thing, right?
Then maybe they should keep their bedroom activities private. I don't want to know about it. If you want me to judge, no, brother. If you don't want me to judge her, then she needs to keep it private. And you know what I'm saying?
Okay. I got you. But she was on the beat.
James Baldwin was a black writer. He just happened to be gay. I've read his books.
There's an example.
He never got on a soapbox. He never marched around saying, "I'm a gay black man." You know, he just was a kick-ass writer. This woman who was twerking, she takes an oath of office, just like the military does. She's on duty 24 hours a day. Okay,
but
she doesn't have any private time.
She was in office, though, right?
All right.
Okay. Theo.
Theo,
do you
it's
know
not a good look. She's making black women look cheap.
No, she's not. She's not doing anything. She hasn't done anything that deviates from what we see in reality. Come on. This lady has not done anything.
Theo, I mean, don't you understand that the main reason why people are pissed is that she has already made our representative or how people think about us or how we're representative. It's already in patterns. Hold on. It's already in patterns. It's already in patterns.
Some people are taking the opportunity.
Our reputation is already in tatters, and she has made it worse. Okay, that's the main reason why. Yes, she has, because literally, out of all the politicians, black female ones like her make young girls look bad because they're gonna expect a black politician to twerk and do all level of baseness to get votes.
I mean, they're gonna expect people to have their own lives, right?
She put herself on the same realm as Major Sally's. She
shook her ass and said, "Vote for me."
Listen. Arnold Schwarzenegger was the governor of California. This man has been on stage. Wait. Let me just say this. This man has been on stage with less clothing than she has on, right?
He was a professional bodybuilder,
right? Showing off his body.
He was a professional bodybuilder. Oh my
Thank you. Professional bodybuilder.
The substance is the same. She's showing off her body. So what?
Brother, Arnold Schwarzenegger had a baby. Arnold Schwarzenegger got his maid pregnant. Remember that? Did that make all white men look bad? No, he's a hero still making movies now. That woman twerking is making all black women look like Meg Thee Stallion and making them look cheap.
No,
You're
man,
being
there's so much
disingenuous. You're
diversity,
being
and people
disingenuous, and you
understand
know
that.
you
Come
are.
on,
You're
people
being
understand this.
disingenuous.
This woman doesn't
No,
represent every single black woman. Come on,
I want to
and
give
that
an
one
example.
It
the
doesn't
black one
matter. They will think that. They will think
Okay,
that.
hold
They
on.
will think that. They will think it.
Let Chrissy respond. Go ahead, Chrissy.
Okay, in the 90s, when Bill Clinton was president, he was considered a really good president generally, in the United States. But he still got impeached for having sexual relations. Now, he didn't have sexual relations in public where we could see, but he was
did it in the office.
he had a position as president. Why was he impeached? Yes, partially because it was done in the Oval Office, but because you're the president of the United States, and there's a certain standard.
No, if he would have been working at McDonald's and did that on the job, if he was working at McDonald's and did that, he probably would have got fired. If he was the manager of McDonald's and did what Bill Clinton did on the job, and someone videoed it, or someone just came out and said it, like one of the employees, he would have got fired. It has nothing.
Okay, but the point that I'm trying to make,
life, and then there's personal life. You gotta
hold on. Let me interject, Theo. Back in the 90s, I don't think so. Now, yes, in the 90s, nah, he wouldn't have got fired.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. He probably could have got away with it in the 90s. A manager at McDonald's. You're right. You're right. But the standards have raised a bit, right? And for president at the time, the standards were already there, higher than they were for a manager at McDonald's.
Nobody cared because the economy was doing well.
But this is my question.
The economy was doing very well when Clinton was in.
But Theo, this is my question. Are you really comparing a Mr. Olympia to a girl just twerking on a beach?
What I'm saying is, this is no.
Come on, bro.
Okay. Let me answer you, Dynast. Let me answer you. What I'm saying is, this is overall what I want to say is, man, we got to stop nitpicking at this stuff that has nothing to do with substance, right? Because at the end of the day, we can go on any beach and see what we seen in that video from ordinary people. Ordinary people are wearing bathing suits, right?
She's not an ordinary person.
She's not an ordinary person.
But that's what we want. But she is an
constituents.
ordinary person. That's what he means. She's not. She's not a superhuman. She's not God. She's not
running for public office.
She said to vote for her at the end of the video. She did a campaign ad. You understand what I'm saying? So it's all tied together. It's not an innocent video with friends and it got leaked. She made it. She directed it to her constituents. Vote for me.
It was a stunt. Okay, let's say it was a stunt.
Come on, that's
did
classless.
what she felt like she needed to do to get attention.
But would you introduce a person who if your mother saw that video, would you feel comfortable introducing that girl to your mom afterward? Vote for twerking public official you're dating.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad.
Twerking,
it wasn't that bad.
Vote for me. Your mother would be okay with you dating somebody
that woman.
like that?
What that woman did was not that bad. It was not that bad.
Answer the question. Would you introduce your mother to that a woman doing that?
And would your mother be
answer that question? I would have to even see her as someone that I would introduce.
Okay, I'll answer the question honestly. I'll answer the question. Hell no. I'll keep that woman in the closet. I wouldn't introduce to nobody in my family. That's how you answer the question. Don't dance around me.
If that was someone I was dating and she made a video like that, I mean,
she looked like a slut, man.
And she's a public official, and she said, "Vote."
It was bad, man. It was very bad.
Let me say something real quick. Look, Theo, you used the bad example of Arnold Schwarzenegger, so we'll go there. Okay, Arnold Schwarzenegger at no time when he was campaigning to become governor, got in a freaking banana hammock and twirled his dick around and said, vote for Schwarzenegger, vote for the Schwarzenegger for governor.
Vote for me. Get out of there. Vote for me now.
Get to the
vote for me. Get to the chopper and vote for me.
Around. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. That's the same thing. Nobody would vote for like people would be embarrassed. Like Austrian Americans, we don't hear nothing from them, but I guarantee you if he would have done that, they would have went crazy because they were like, how dare you represent us like that? It's the same thing, but you probably voted for Biden. So I'm pretty sure you don't care about standards that black people are supposed to have. We already have a bad reputation and a bad image in tatters already, and it made it worse. I don't know how you can't understand that.
Well, I mean, I disagree with a lot of things that you said, regardless of who I voted for, right? Because obviously you seem to have conservative views. I don't. Excuse me. But you can't dismiss people for their sexual
Yeah,
preference.
I do have conservative views. I don't want my women showing their behind to every freaking race of people on the planet.
Thank you.
But every woman is in
Conservative,
your woman.
Conservatism is not a four-letter word. It means we keep our business private. It's private. It doesn't mean you're a Republican. It's just private. Keep it to yourself. It's got nothing to do with the campaign, nothing to do with the political issues. I don't care who you're screwing. I don't want to know whether you're straight or gay. Keep that shit to yourself. Stick to the issues. Keep the damn clothes on. Be presentable at all times. Anything else is bullshit.
The lady had on
All
her
right,
beta.
let's hear. What's the African Rattle? Go ahead, African Rattle.
Okay, I think what there is going on about is this whole respectability politics stuff, because that's what the articles will say. They'll say, oh, respectability politics. That's the crutch they have whenever something like that happens. They start talking about, oh, we should not be paying attention to the white gaze. But what about the black children's gaze? What about other black people's gaze? It's not about white people all the time. You see, these white liberals claim that they are fighting white supremacy, but they're the biggest white supremacists because they only care about the white gaze. What about other black people's gaze? But I don't want to see my kids to see that. That's the thing. The thing is, it's not about respectability politics. Let's talk about disrespectability politics. Disrespectability in the sense that you are disrespecting your people by showing that. Let's talk about disrespectability politics, because they talk about respectability. Let's not act right for these white people because we don't care what they think. It's not about. One thing I agreed with Kevin Samuels on was he used to say there's an ethnic image. Every group has an ethnic image. So if you don't take care of your ethnic image, it hurts your people, whether you like it or not. It does. For example, Africans over here, there's an ethnic image some of us have had that hurts us. So we are trying to clean that up.
We heard language that one guy used before he got into office, right? The profanity, the perversion, right? And conservatives voted for him. You get what I'm saying? So, and I'm not saying that that's a standard to hold someone to, but I think some of this stuff, some people look at it as it's of no consequence to the job, the things that they want done politically, right? And that's how we need to.
Bro, what I'm saying is this. One thing I need to break to you, the news is you're not white. So standards are not the same sometimes. And here's the thing. Because, okay, we've spoken about this whole respectability thing. Let me take another angle to this thing. When I saw this story, I was a bit shocked, but because Black America has become so tribal now that every time some nonsense happens, I have to look up the person and see their background. I was so happy that this person is not Caribbean or African, because if they were, it would have been hell in these streets. So I kind of laughed when I found out she's American, actually, because Black immigrants are being accused of, okay, we are ruining the culture, we are doing this and that. I was like, okay, so is this the culture we are ruining? This is the culture.
Hey man, come on. I watch videos. I watch videos from dignitaries, right?
That we are ruining. Answer the question. So the thing is,
okay, so
the point is,
let's talk culture, right? What she did was nothing wrong. So when you watch a dignitary, when you see dignitaries welcome other dignitaries, right, in Africa, and nothing against it, I don't take this the wrong way. We're just talking about culture. Sometimes they'll have dancers, right? Sometimes those dancers don't have as much on as this woman, right?
What? Which dignity?
Don't
Tell me
even
I'm wrong.
dare. Don't you dare. That's their culture.
Don't
You're
you
being
dare.
disingenuous
Okay,
again.
but
That's
we
their
talking about
culture. That's
culture.
their
That's what
tribal
I'm saying.
culture.
Don't take it the wrong way. I'm
It's
not
their
criticizing
culture.
it. And that's what we're
It's
talking
a
about,
different
culture.
thing. It's a different culture.
That's
It's
what
not
we're
the
talking
same.
about, culture. So
There's no
I'm not
culture
criticizing it at all. I'm just
where
telling
you're
you
wearing a
all.
panty, meeting a dignitary. There's no culture where you're wearing your panties, meeting any dignitary. Show me that video
I mean,
where
look
you're
at South
wearing your
Africa. Look,
panties.
look. Mhm.
In your panties. Where?
Okay. I mean, it might not be pants. This is a bathing suit. So that's semantics right there. I mean,
But
No,
I
it ain't
think
semantics.
you're splitting hairs, Theo, because in
maybe.
one sense we're talking about a cultural practice that is not sexual, right? So if you're talking about maybe like tribes in South Africa where women are they're not doing it. I've never seen it. I don't know, but I've never seen it in front of no
There's certain
dignitaries.
ceremonial
South
dances
But
that
there's
Africa
certain
perform in
has
different
ceremonial
South
countries.
Africa
dances where
culture.
the women
They
do
have
not
every
have
year they
tops.
prance around with their tops off to prove that they're
Your tops
virgins.
off,
That's in South
exactly,
Right,
Africa.
right.
right,
It's
It's
different
nothing
things
to
exactly.
do
that
But
we
with
it's
do.
not
sex. It's their
sexual.
And I
It's
culture,
don't judge
and they
that.
do
I
it
conjugal.
on
don't
the
judge it. I don't
news.
look
Watch
down on
me.
it.
But what is
Right.
happening here? This twerking thing is sexual. It's not derived from some deep spiritual, ancestral, cultural meaning. It's sex. That's what it is, and we know that. Even when I hear people say, "Oh, twerking came from Africa," no, what people are doing here is a bastardization of the dances that came from Africa. This sex stuff, this
Facts.
flopping your behind,
Well,
this
most
flashing butt,
dancing
it's completely different.
demonstrate. Most dancing that people do demonstrate some type of sexual prowess. You be hard pressed to find like dances anywhere in the world where there's in some element of winding of the hips
That's true.
or
Yeah,
shaking of
that
the
is
butt
Okay,
or
okay.
something
So,
like
so
that.
let's
that
let's say
is
let's
that
say
is
that's the
It's to
case.
show
There,
fertility. It's
I
to
mean, if you
show
want to look at
there's a
fertility.
tango,
Men,
place
if
women,
you want to
and
look
some
at
African
Latin,
countries, they
Africa,
do it when
I
they
mean,
get married. It's
let,
fertility dance. That's
right.
what it's for. It's not something as nasty as that woman twerking upside down
that
for
wasn't
votes.
nasty,
It's
man.
not the
Exactly.
same animal. You know it's not, man.
It wasn't
Yeah.
that bad.
Get real.
So
It
Come
wasn't that
on.
bad.
let's say
Can
that's the
we talk?
case. When you are a public official and you're twerking on your head, and then you say "vote for me," you've made it a campaign ad. There's nowhere in the world that I know of where that is okay,
She was
where
trying to
that
get
is
attention there.
appropriate. You can get attention. I mean, what kind of attention are we looking for? I mean, I could walk
I
down
mean,
the street
some people
naked and
use
get
corruption
attention.
to
Is that
get into
appropriate?
office.
But is that
Some people do worse
appropriate?
than that.
What type of
They
attention are
dress
you
as too.
looking for as a
Right?
public
She ain't got
dignitary?
she don't have lobbies
As
and
a
the money
public
and the.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
no, 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 no. We can't be doing that because then we'll start prostituting ourselves for attention. Then we'll start selling children for attention. Then we'll start stripping naked
That's a
for
leak,
attention.
though.
There
That's
has to be
a
a
leak.
standard. No,
can
we
I
can't
can I
just
say
do
something real quick?
anything for attention.
Well, hold on. Let's do this. Let's do this. Mr. Sandman, then Theo, then we'll pass to you, Alan. Go ahead, Mr. Sandman.
Yeah, I wanted to break it down by the numbers, right? So anytime you're dealing with business and politics, right, it's all driven by analytics, right? And when you look at the numbers, right, um, there's about 13% of the American population is African American. So let's say about 50 million African Americans, give or take, right? Of that 50 million African Americans, let's say about 10 million of them are children underage and they can't vote yet. They're under 18, right? So that leaves us with about 40 million Americans that are black of voting age, right? Of those 40 million black people, right, the voting age, let's say about 25 million of them are black women. Why? Because black men die at a young age constantly. They're killing themselves in the streets. And black women in general, they live longer than black men because we have a lot of health issues, overweight, diabetes, things of that nature, cancer, right? So that leaves us with about 15 million black men of voting age in the United States of America. Of that 15 million, about 2 million of us are incarcerated in prison. They can't vote, right? Another 5 million of us, right, black men, we got felony charges, right? We can't vote in most states because we felons, right? And you do the math, right, of 300 million people, black men only make up about 7%, or no, I'm sorry, about 7 million people of voting age. So in other words,
black men, when it comes to voting or politics in the United States of America, we're irrelevant. Your position, your agenda means nothing to both parties, both Democratic and Republican. So what you're seeing here is you're seeing black women getting pushed because they're the ones that can drive the Democratic Party to push the vote in their favor. Okay. So if we want to change the dynamics of our agenda and have it more influential in the American politics, black men, they have to get married. Okay, this is going to be something that can happen in a couple years, not in this administration, not in the next. It's going to take a couple generations of black men influencing their families, influencing the black women, and raising their families. Otherwise, and when it comes to the numbers, we're irrelevant. And what we talk about, what we believe in, what we want to push means nothing to the United States of America politically in a large scope of things. And that's
Okay, for sure.
I see it.
Yes, sir. Theo's a simp. Go ahead, Theo. Mute yourself.
Am I okay? Can you hear me?
No. There's a guy named Theo. Theo's a simp. Okay, he's probably trolling. Let me go on once, go on twice. Okay.
Can you hear me?
No, not you. Somebody else. Alan, go ahead, Alan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just basically want to say that, you know, the excuses that I'm hearing for this behavior is utterly ridiculous. You know, I don't have a problem with people twerking, people having fun, people doing stuff. As Diana said at the top of the show, there's a time and a place for everything. And yes, the beach can be that place. But when you are a public official, when you are somebody who is in the public, you should not be caught doing something like that. And it's one thing to get caught doing that. It's another thing to go out there and to publicize it and put it out there yourself in an attempt to get attention. That shows a horrible mentality. That shows somebody who is not fit to lead. And what this one young woman has done is she has ruined her career forever. This stuff is out there forever. She will always be the upside down twerking senator. And so she will.
Alan, if I can interject real quick, she didn't ruin her career. You have to look at who's backing her. Like, black dysfunction is supported by white liberals and black, and I'm sorry to say it, and black women.
I get how it's supported, but it's supported.
Alan, men like Theo. Trust me, she has a lot of supporters.
She has a lot of supporters. She has a lot of supporters, but she doesn't have the support of people doing serious. She wanted to enter into a serious world where she was going to be taken seriously. She will never be taken seriously, and this will be the end of her career. She will always be a state senator from Rhode Island. She'll never be anything more. You know, she might not be able to hold on to this job. And instead of using her as a cautionary tale to other people, like, listen, you can't take what works on social media, what works in you know, Hollywood and things like that, and apply it to politics. We're out here making excuses for it, and it makes us look utterly stupid and ridiculous. That's basically all I have to say about that. She's done. Stick a fork in her. Her career is over.
Okay. Information man. Go
hey,
ahead,
can I say something real quick? I'm sorry to interject. I wanted to add to what Mr. Sandman said a few minutes ago. Black male votes aren't 100% insignificant because they matter more at the local level. At the federal level, I agree with you 100% because our numbers really won't push the needle, but at the local level is where they actually do matter still, even though every day our relevancy is waning. But if we can actually use that to, you know, push back against most of our men voting Democrat, our votes can actually affect something, but if that makes any sense. But that's all I wanted to say.
Oh yeah, on the local level.
Hold on one second. Information man show. Go ahead, information man.
How's everybody doing? I just got a couple of things I want to say. I've been listening to the conversation for quite some time, Dynas, and I think one of the brothers made a very good point. We make a lot of excuses as black people, and Dynas, you know what I'm about to say. Excuses are tools of the incompetent, and those that use them seldom succeed. And black people, we make a lot of excuses. We always want to try to nice things up for when black people do things that are butt nasty, butt buffoonish and coonish. And then we want to pretty it up by saying, well, you know, what about the dancing they do in Africa? Or what about the fact that when politicians have events, they have dancers? It's because they're dancers. They're not running for public office. She's a public office official. So therefore, you have to conduct yourself in a more proper manner. And she also is doing something that's detrimental, is that she's also teaching young girls, which women keep claiming that they want to get away from, that we shouldn't be seen as sexual creatures. We should be treated with freedom and equality. Men are just justifying us as sex. Well, she just reinforced that, and she did it dually. You know how she did it dually? She reinforced the sexual stereotype of the LGBTQ, and by default, because she's a female, she also did the same thing to black females. So that's the bullshit that's in it. Now we know that she has a sister on here said that she had another agenda, right? We know what that agenda is. So we have to hold our politicians to higher standards. Now, the question I throw on the floor, can anybody who's supporting this tell me what white politician, Asian politician, Hispanic politician, what politicians of any ethnic group, women or men, have you seen out on Front Street shaking it up with their clothes off saying, vote for me, right? This shows you how they see, this is the Democratic Party and their BS. Remember what they did to black men? They went out there to Atlanta, in your neck of the woods, I believe, Prince, and they got booty shaking black strippers, legitimate strippers, to say, get your butts to the polls, black men. So they tried to tell you that's what they see of us as black men, that we need exports to get us to go vote. We need sexual exports. And on the flip side, for the women, we need to also promote sex to you. This is what they're telling you that they think about us. And that says a whole hell of a lot. We got to have standards. Whatever happened to, gone are the days of Adam Clayton Powell. Okay. Did Adam Clayton Powell get out there and act the fool? Now, he had his issues, he was, he did his thing, but he wasn't on the campaign trail shaking it up. Or even a Shirley Chisholm, who was the first black woman to run for president. Did she shake it up and say, vote for me? No, because black people had standards and values and things that you had to adhere to, or your ass was grass. So I'm sorry to Brother Theo, or whoever on here is making the excuses for her. Brother, you're $1 late and 25 cents short. Hell no. We got to get away from this destructive behavior that is permeating in our communities. We got to get away from it. We got to deny it, denounce it right now, period. That's all I had to say, Dynas. I appreciate you, brother. Peace.
Hey, Information Man Show, I got to get you on another show where we talk about the whole reparations issue. Just let me know when you're free.
I'll contact you, man. I know I missed a few of your emails in the past. I appreciate you reaching out to me, but I'll contact you. But Dynas, man, nobody should be coming up here trying to rationalize the irrational BS. I'm sorry. Take care, everybody. Much love to all the brothers and sisters and everybody in the chat room. Peace.
For sure, peace.
I think the problem. There's a.
Hold on. Let's keep it in order. Now, I wouldn't cut you off, but
Nah, you let them husky hyenas. We know, Theo, you love them husky hyenas.
Okay. So, points that I want to make, right? Listen, the reality is every politician isn't everyone's politician, despite their skin color, right? Black folks have different interests, right? So maybe she did have an agenda. Whatever it is, it's her agenda, right? She representing who she's representing, her constituency. And that's what you got to look for, right? So wasting time criticizing her like she was supposed to be the great black hope, that just ain't gonna cut it. You got to put the people forward who you think gonna represent your interest, right? So all I'm saying is some of this stuff ain't even worth criticizing because it's of no consequence, right? And other point that I want to make is when it comes to what I see as conservative views, right? With marriage, everyone isn't going to get married, right? It's not everyone's responsibility to get married. It's not everyone's responsibility to have kids. It's not every woman's responsibility to be a wife or a mother, right? It's freedom. It's freedom. You know, so we talk a lot about the Black community being destroyed by these programs put forth by the Democratic Party, social programs like welfare and housing and all of this stuff. But the truth of the matter is, if any one of us is married to a woman that we can take care of, that loves us, and we love that woman isn't going to leave us for welfare. It just ain't going to happen. Women go on those programs a lot of times because they need them one way or the other, right? And that's just what it is. So I can get how some of these programs can make you feel a bit insecure when you're trying to find a partner, right? Because you feel like you can have a little competition, right? Economically, right? Security-wise, you feel like a woman has this ability to be independent of you, so it can make you feel a bit insecure. But that's just not a way to go about it, right? So I'll say this also, right? Be patient, my brother. So I'll say this also.
You just
point
talking
out the
clown
beauty.
shit, Negro.
Be patient, my brother. So when it comes to having kids, right, we look at it like, okay, we need to build a family, populate, so that I guess this is going to help us out, right? But the truth is, man, we criticize people for not having kids, for aborting kids, and I'm not supporting or not. I'm just saying, we criticize these people for not getting married. A lot of times we do that from the position of having one kid or not being married ourselves, right? So if we wanted to really, as an individual, if I felt like the way forward in society was more children being born, I wouldn't waste time criticizing Planned Parenthood or criticizing the people who aren't having kids. Guess what? I'm gonna go out and have some kids. So if you got one child, as a man, you're capable of producing many, right? What's stopping you, right? You're making your own decision based on your economics, right? Or whatever, your preference. Everybody has that right, right? So if you don't have more than one child, don't criticize because you chose to plan your parenthood, right? Don't criticize somebody else who chose to have no child because that fit their circumstance or desire, right? That's all I'm saying. Like, to me, some of these criticisms, it sounds hypocritical when you really dissect it. And some of these criticism about women and the Democratic Party, it sounds like insecurity. It sounds like a man being afraid that, you know, the government is providing a woman an out from marriage, and, you know, I may not be able to find a spouse. So I don't know what it is, bro. But if a woman loves you, right, and she wants somebody to take care of her, and you can do that, I guarantee you, if you're not abusing that woman, if you're treating her right, you're treating yourself right, and there's love there, she ain't gonna leave you for welfare, brother, or food stamps. Because if she does, the only reason she will is either one, she don't love you, which you don't need to be with her anyway, right? Or two, she need those things because the two of you together can't cut it. She's trying to survive.
Wow.
Right?
Hey, can I? I just want to say one thing.
Okay,
Theo,
hold on.
are
Let
you
me
done? Because you're kind of going in circles.
Wow.
Right. I'm trying to stick to a point, right? I'm trying to stick to a particular point.
Theo.
This insecurity,
Hold on, man.
right? And I hate to push it like that, but sometimes it comes off as like you crying about possibly not being able to get a woman. And I get it. But bro,
brother, I've never been insecure about a woman on welfare in my life.
What history
I'm sorry
shows?
for cutting you off.
What history shows?
Continue.
What history
Please
shows
continue,
is,
sir.
what history shows is every guy isn't you. Wait, listen to me. Every guy isn't you. Hold on, every guy isn't you, right? So you can account for your manhood, you can account for your responsibility, right? You can't account for every man. So don't go out there trying to push women into the arms of every man that you can't account for, because every man isn't going to be responsible.
I never said I was pushing them.
Some
You said
men are abusive, and so women need a way. Sometimes women need a way, right, i.e. economic empowerment. Hold on, brother. Hold on.
You've been talking for a while.
I don't want my tax dollars paying for
Let me
that.
finish
If
this,
bitches
and then
do
I'm
all
gonna let it
that,
go.
Hold on. Can I just respond, and I'm gonna jump off real quick so Mr. Sandman after Rattle and Alan can talk a little bit. Everything you heard this man say, okay, look, for one, that American freedom individualism stuff was not made for us, okay? The way Black Americans survived, or Africans on this continent survived, was working together with other Black people. So all this American individual freedom, there's a reason why they push it on us. So we don't work together. We're just individuals. So we're easier to control. Okay,
well,
so
working
that's
together
number
works.
one.
That's
Hold
what's
on,
gonna
BL,
happen.
let me talk, and then you can talk all day like you've been talking and babbling. Look, and then also on the same thing, you want our women, and when I say our women, us collectively as Black Americans, okay? Not they, or I own them, or I'm like, oh, I can't get them and I'm insecure with some party. That's stupid. But anyway, you want them to have the individual freedom to kill Black children, whether rightly or wrongly, get rid of Black children.
You using a condom, you doing the
Hold on,
same
BL,
thing.
let me finish, and I'm gonna get off and you can keep talking and babbling. Okay, so you want them to have the individual American freedom to kill a Black child. You want them to have the freedom to waste the best years of their life, their fertility, on no good Negroes and other men. You want them to have the freedom to disrespect the Black men that actually would be on their side and help them. You want them to have the individual freedom to team up with other entities, races of people to go against us. So that's what you're selling. And
No, it's not. No, it's not.
So anyway, I'm done. That's really all I want to say.
That's exactly what he's selling.
Black people
That's exactly
working
what he's
together
selling.
is how
And I'm not buying it.
individual bullshit.
What did you
Can I interject here?
Go ahead.
Go
I'm
ahead,
out.
Al.
Thank you.
Go ahead. I appreciate you.
What you've listened to is exactly what happens when people become dependent on a system, and men lose their manhood and ability to guide and to properly lead their community. Any man who will say that it's a great idea that the system is providing for our women instead, and that shows independence.
Glad I pay my taxes for that.
Has no idea. Let me finish. Has no idea what independence is. Okay, independent is not taking WIC or taking stuff like that. What you're doing is guiding Black men, abdicating our responsibility and guiding our women to dependency upon a system that is ultimately there to destroy them. And you are making excuses and making it so that people just allow this to happen with nothing being said from the men in the community. It is a lack of, it's not masculine.
What you do, you vote.
To allow, let me finish. It is not masculine to allow this sort of thing to happen without you saying anything. And it certainly isn't masculine to sit back and say, well, that's their freedom. They can do what they want to do, because all you're showing the world is that you have abdicated your sense of duty and responsibility for your community and for your women, and have allowed Uncle Sam to do it. And and regardless of what Uncle Sam's track record is of dealing with Black people, you're willing to hand our women and children over to them. That is cowardly, sir. And that is not something that real men do.
How many single mothers you taking care
and
of?
the last thing I'm gonna say is no other race of men would do that. That's only us.
How many single moms you taking care of, though? How many single moms are you taking care of, bro? You get what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is I pay my taxes, right? And we're a community in that sense, right? So
I pay my taxes
I
too.
like to believe, and I got you, but I like to believe that we have programs out there for women or men, anybody who needs it, man. It's not turning women over, because you can take care of your family while also appreciating paying taxes into a system for people who don't have you every day. Do you get what I'm saying? You can do both, right? I can take care of my kids while at the same time paying taxes and appreciating my taxes going to programs that take care of kids who don't have a father.
But we're not talking about safety
because
net.
I can't be there for every child. right?
We're not talking about a
Except
safety net.
for I pay my taxes and I push for programs that are an extension of me to help take care of other children who don't have a father in the home.
Yeah,
You get what I'm saying? So you can do both. You don't have to be afraid. And listen, history has shown sometimes when a person has the upper
I don't want
hand,
my
they'll use
taxes
it.
paying for that, man. I have to interrupt. That's
Go
what
ahead.
charity's for. That's what a church is
Man,
for.
charity,
They
when you doing
donate
charity,
their funds and their
have a good
monies to
charity.
help the shut
Charity
in,
creates
help
beggars.
people. No. Charity
Okay.
handles all of that. Charity raises billions of dollars. Churches, that's what they're there for,
And then the
to
power
help
is in
those
the hand of the
people.
church.
And also their immediate family. That single mother got a
And
mother
sometimes
and a
the power
father.
don't need to be in the hands
Where
of the
they're
family.
asked out. Then they're asked out.
People
Over
come
here
from
in
abusive
Kenya,
places, bro.
brother, hold up. I'm just moving to Kenya. There is no social safety net here. There's no welfare here.
Man,
If a
come
woman
on.
gets pregnant here,
That's the
if a
problem.
woman gets, hear me out. If a woman gets pregnant here, she's on her own. She's dependent on her family.
Or
That's
somewhere
it.
in the Middle East,
Guess what? It
trying to raise
works.
money because she ain't
Guess
got
what?
no. Yeah, okay.
Guess
Let's go
what?
ahead.
It works. It works. Who has more out of who's
So
having more of
you
these
telling
bastard
me
babies?
a
Who's
woman in
having more
Kenya?
bastard
Okay.
babies? Who's having more bastard babies? Who? Which country?
I don't know.
You don't
Honestly, I
see
don't
them.
know.
You don't see them over. You don't see them over here marching in the street wanting to abort babies. I don't see it here.
But I'm
They
gonna tell you what I
clown
know.
us. They clown
there are
us.
women. There
They
are women in
laugh
the
at
Middle East
us.
right now.
They're ashamed of us right now. They looking at Black Americans like, what the fuck are y'all doing? They think we're on one. And you know what? They're right. I'm embarrassed.
It's a
We need to, man, fuck that. No.
Hold on 1 second.
Y'all romanticize this stuff, but
I'll mute myself.
y'all ain't being real.
Theo, I have a question. Have these social programs over the last, since integration 30, 40 years, have they benefited the Black community? I mean, has the Black community gotten any better since,
I think, yeah, so honestly, I don't think the problem is the programs though. I think we have to do more to extend those programs to make sure they're doing what they are designed to do, right? And I don't believe they're designed to destroy. That's just me, right? Because I don't think these things just came in place for Black people. You go to Europe, they got more social programs than we got that do the same thing, if not better, right? So what I'm saying is, have they helped? I'm sure they've helped some, because guess what? There are young men right now today that are alive today and well and doing well for themselves, right? Who knows where they would have been if their mother didn't have social safety nets and had to turn to something like prostitution, or that child have to turn to crime to survive. So we need it. Listen, if you cut off social programs today,
it's getting worse. I mean, a lot of these women are getting social programs and they're selling booty on Instagram and OnlyFans and Facebook.
That's what I'm saying. You can't account for everybody's behavior. So it's
getting.
It's not the program though.
It's not the program. It hasn't improved at all. These social programs have not improved the Black community as a whole. Period.
Yeah, but okay, let me tell you that. Let me say this, right? Those social programs have not done worse than an alcoholic, abusive father has done to his household.
Do you see what they do, man? This is feminism.
It's called moving the goalposts. You're moving the goalposts, but that's okay.
You want to romanticize this.
You're just being contrarian now
of life, but what I'm saying is, you got to look at the nuances, man. You have to.
You're not looking at nuances. You're repeating talking points. You're repeating feminist talking points. That's what you're doing.
Well, you can call it what you want to. You can call it. That don't bother me.
I'm not.
That's the thing.
I'm not trying to bother you. What I'm trying to get you to understand. What I'm trying to get you to understand, okay, is that the first thing you did, instead of talking about having families intact, you see the devastation that's happening in the communities with fatherless homes and stuff like that. And the first thing you did, the thing to do, was to vilify fathers and men.
No, I didn't.
And specifically, yes, you did. The first thing you went to was abusive men. That's the first thing you went to.
Because there are those out there. That's what I'm saying. It's about nuance.
Again, that is not nuance. That is a talking point. That is a talking point that you've picked up, you know, I mean, from these
No,
people
it's
who
a
support these
reality that I see,
that
man.
support these kind of
You,
programs
your talking
that you
points.
want to do. Now,
Mhm.
now, I'm not saying there should be no safety net and that there should not be any sort of programs. That's not, at least that's not what I'm saying. Okay. What I'm saying is we can't go ahead and romanticize these programs and make it seem as if they're the end all be all. And that's how we build a community. When you let everything default to a safety net, you don't have a system or a community at all. And that's the point I'm trying to make to you. Do you get what I'm trying to say?
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I just don't quite agree, and maybe there's more to elaborate on your part. But I'll say this, right? We say, see, and this is the problem. We say stuff like fatherless homes. The kids need the father in the home without even qualifying the father. So this is why I say there's nuance, because some homes are better off without that person who would have been in the home, that father who would have been in. And I know it sounds crazy, right? But you got some guys who are gangbangers having kids. Guess what? If that mother, right, wants to deviate from that, she's probably better off. Because it's some kids, some young boys right now who are gonna go into selling drugs, crime, gangbanging, alcoholism, all of that, because of that male, right, of a father that they have in their life, right? So if I have to look at it like this, right, I have a mother who does right by her kids, right, in every way that you can imagine, right? She had a child from a guy who's, rather he was doing it before, goes into like alcoholism, drugs, everything that I mentioned, right? Crime, right? If I had to give advice, right? Should she keep this guy in the home or stay in the home with this guy, or take her child and get that child away from that guy and do it by herself? I would tell her to do it by herself, because I believe this: to raise a good man or a good woman, right, takes a good person. It ain't the quantity of parents, it's the quality of parents, right? So one good parent is better than a parent who could nullify that good parent's intention. Do you get what I'm saying? So you have a good mother, and it could go both ways. Now, I'm not attacking just guys, because if it was a guy, if a guy had to decide, hey, you know what, I'm taking my child because this mother, she's on drugs, she's abusive to the child or whatever, and he wants to go to court to get that child away from that, I support that 100%, right? Because I look at it as, it's not the quantity of parents, it's the quality of the parenting. So one parent can do a better job than two bad parents, and one parent can probably do a better job, I'm sure can do a better job than a well-intended parent who has to deal with a malfunctioning parent.
What about we don't have kids with dysfunctional people? That's, to me,
Well,
that's
you
a
know
better
what?
solution.
That's a good idea too, right? And that's why everybody shouldn't have kids. That's why we shouldn't be trying to just say, oh, just across the board.
Hey, there's an echo coming from somebody. Let's do this. Go ahead, Kala, and then we'll pass it to Josh. Go ahead, Kala.
This is the problem. This is the problem.
Kala, your mic, Kala, your mic is.
Let me finish and then I leave. I think Kala is his mic is. What I was saying is okay. It's your mic, Kala. Your mic is.
It's better. You guys always
No, it's not, Kala. Like you're on that Obama phone. You're on that Obama phone, Kala.
I'm not at home, man. I'm out.
Okay.
Man, I had to call it. I had to
Kala, whenever you call in, you're not on your iPad. It's never good.
Okay. God damn, man.
Kala, go to T-Mobile and just upgrade to iPhone 13. Just go to T-Mobile and just get your new phone.
What I was saying is, I understand what Theo is saying about the safety nets, and I understand some people need them. Although I live in a country where we don't have them. But the thing is, I understand some people need them. Some people need some help some time at a time. But what is this? What I would compare it to? Personally, I'm a grown man now. I don't want to borrow money from my parents. So what I must ensure I'm not in a position where I need to call someone for money. So that's the same thing what you're saying with Uncle Sam. Like, you have to push yourself to a point where you don't need that
Yeah,
crutch to go back
right,
to, so
right. Because
that
you got to survive
because
first.
I
Yeah.
would never like call my dad and say, hey man, I need some money.
After
I'm the
he
one who
raised you and fed you and raised you to be a
I'm the
grown
one.
man.
After Ralph, you just brought up a great point after Ralph, because that's the problem with these social programs or safety nets in
Right.
America. They become generational. That's the problem.
Right.
I would
Generational.
agree with that.
I understand. I understand
It is.
somebody.
It is.
So
It
I
is.
understand I understand somebody needs help at some point. But the
We
thing
all
is,
do, man. We wait
yeah,
until we get grown. We've eaten for free for most of our lives, right? As a child, right? We get educated for free, right? So most of us, none of us, I'm gonna say most of us on here, we didn't do it on our own, right? Somebody fed us. So, go ahead.
Colin, you got to call. You got to call. Go grab the iPad, Colin. Go grab the iPad.
I'm not
There you
home.
go.
Let me say.
So what I'm
Let me
saying is,
log out.
Colin, we can't. Colin, we can't. Colin, it's not working. Colin, it's not working. All right. Go ahead, Theo. Then we'll pass it to Josh, and then we'll close out. All right, go
no.
ahead, Theo.
So what I'm saying is, like most of us, right? We've had somebody to feed us, educate us, right? Until we were an adult, right? Medical, food, shelter, education, all of that for 18 years, right? Then we become an adult, and if we lucky, if the people who raised us did it right, and if we received it right, we don't need to ask them for help after the fact. So what I'm saying is, for that child who's growing up with that mother who may not be able to work because she's mothering, right? Man, why can't she have something there that allow her to raise her child to be 18? And hopefully, if it's done right, it don't become a generational thing. He or she becomes an adult, right? And goes off to do, and it happens. We know it happens, right? You can't
I
say
agree. I agree with
we
you, but
can't.
here's the thing. I agree with you, Theo. But here's the
Mhm.
thing. The way you're going is like, I hear some people say,
It's not zero sum.
some feminists say, okay, a child can have two mothers or something of the sort, and I'm like, okay, yeah, you need both parents. You need the female, the male. So you can't have a situation where you need just one parent and think the kid is going to be fine. The kid will never be fine. As much you need both parents. That's why I'm like, listen, I I think that we need some conservatism in
Yeah.
all our
Okay.
communities. We do.
And
This
let's
liberal
do this
stuff,
because we're
nah.
gonna close out soon. So I want to get to Josh, and I want to get to Shirley. We'll let Shirley close out. But go ahead, Josh. Unmute yourself. Josh. Josh, we can't hear you. All right, going once, going twice. All right, go ahead, Shirley. Unmute yourself, Shirley.
So the ethic and the ideologies of America has changed on what we view which is good or which is bad. We still operate under law and order. This video started because of what we saw with this senator and what she's doing with the twerking and everything. But keep in mind, there's other people who have been out there who also did sexual things. I wanted to bring up Katie Hill was asked to resign in 2019 by the Ethics Committee. I believe that the House Ethics Committee is going to also investigate this, and they called it an immoral act that she did. Katie was having sexual acts with her assistant. It leaked to the public, and so you had nude pictures of her all over the place. And she tried to rectify it and justify it, and they said, oh, she's a rising star of the Democrat in the Palmdale, Lancaster area. They got rid of her than hot potatoes. You know, people look at that kind of situation as a prey. If we don't see the Republicans look at trying to take that seat down, I would be shocked. I heard what Theo said. Theo, I don't know if you have children. I don't know how you were raised. I don't understand your ideologies. I know that we live in a life in a time of liberal progressives. And unless we allow the real men to come to the table and stop pushing this ideology of we just need one family and one woman and one child. We don't need one. We need Black family first. We need to let that Black man lead, let that Black man shine. The right Black man who's not going to justify and compromise and focus on Latino women or Asian women. We as a culture of people need to promote and encourage each other, not to continue to think that the government is going to subsidize. That is all by design. You are a pure example of what the design system exonerates and it promotes.
So let me say this. I was raised by my father.
You've been talking
right?
to everybody all night. I'm gonna finish my thought. So I'm gonna finish my thought. You continue to promote the ideology of the way the whites and the liberals want to see us divided and try to justify it. The sexuality out of all the women, all the black women. I'm a black, full-figured, dark woman, okay? Out of all the black women, we have been buffooned for decades, even down to the English and all the other cultures of people. So to see this woman do this, this was a disgrace. And the bottom line, it didn't help us as black women. And I'm tired of a man looking at me, trying to compare me to her. And I don't even know that Negro. So you can justify and you can claim her at all you want. You're just a protege of their agenda. Thank you, Donis, for having me on your show.
No problem. Go ahead, Theo. Then we'll close out. Go ahead, Theo.
I mean, okay, so just to answer your question, I was raised by my father, right? From my father's always been there for me, 100%. I have 3 kids. I'm always there for my kids. My brother's always there for the kids. My uncle's always there for the kids. My grandfather always there for his kids. That's what I come from, right? But at the same time, I can see things from a different angle. So maybe I do have a soft spot for women who don't have, or kids. I definitely have a soft spot for my friends who didn't grow up without a father, who grew up without a father, mothers who had to do it on their own, right? Like I can't look at that. It's nothing I could do, right? For everyone. But when I look at it, I'm glad when someone has some type of relief, right? It just, that's what it boils down to for me, right? So I pay my taxes, right? And so what I'm interested in is my taxes being used for the greater good. And to me, stuff like that is part of the greater good. When I look at countries that don't have that, well, we see what happens, right? People leave. They go to other places looking for better, greener pastures, right? And if you don't think like that's part of what you're seeing, you probably got to analyze it a little more, right? Because places that have strong, right, governments, that have strong programs that support people and educate people and medical and stuff, those people don't leave readily, right? And they thrive, you know, and that's what it boils down to. And back to the lady doing the twerking.
I disagree. United States of America is one of the most subsidized countries on the planet. I mean, when like everything you just
and
mentioned,
people coming here by the droves.
And everything you just mentioned, we have access to. But again, if you look at the black community here in America, even with access to all of these handouts, the situation is getting worse. So that's why your argument doesn't make any sense.
And also, Dinus, add the fact that this is another form of slavery, right? So we just rebranded. Let's call it programs. Let's call it government assistance.
You don't have to take it if you don't need it.
That's what you're saying, sir. This is just another form of slavery for Black Americans.
It's just there, but white people use it too, though.
I'm not talking about white people. You always want to compare.
But no, you're saying it's for black people. You're saying it's for black people like it's exclusive.
Like
I'm just saying those programs aren't black targeted.
I never said exclusive. I said it is an entity and a system that is brought into place to divide, and it did that to us. We are diminishing in numbers.
Man,
we were
it's more nuanced. Honestly, Theo, I think you really need to go and you need to read the Moynihan report and see the kind of conclusions they came to upon starting a lot of these programs that we're talking about. It shocked them. It shocked them to the point where they were like, "Wow, I didn't think they were going to really kick their man out and in favor of taking this program and being independent."
Kick that man out. How they kick him out if he had a place? If he had the house.
So what I'm saying, what I'm saying to you is they will take more time than we have now.
Answer my question real quick.
Hold on. Let me finish saying what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
My suggestion to you would be to read the Moynihan report, and it can explain all of those things to you about what happened when it's online, it's readily available. The Moynihan report will go ahead and explain that to you.
Let me answer this right quick. How was the man kicked out if it was the man's house?
Well, but it's not about whether or not it was his house or not. It was whether our families were intact.
Answer that question though. How was the man kicked out of his house?
What I'm saying is when the decision was made to move into some things that were subsidized, part of the agreement was that there could not be a man. So what you're telling me is the
man didn't have a house, right?
I am saying that in some instances, yes.
Okay. So let's look at the nuances. Like listen, This is what I'm saying. If you're a man and you have the means and the woman loves you, right, and she means well, guess what? You ain't got to worry about it. But if you don't mean well by the woman and you don't have the means, guess what? She gonna go try to survive for her and her child. Plain and simple. And I don't blame her.
Okay. And again, if you read the Moynihan report, you'll get a full picture of what in fact happens, what it is they were analyzing.
People ain't have resources. Yeah.
Theo, let me ask you a question. Have you studied the Great Society? Have you looked at?
No, but I can.
Okay, that's what
The
you
Great
need to go.
Society.
You need to go back to
Okay.
the Great Society. I want you to study how you will see how the system was designed so that Black women would be dependent on government programs and get away from her Black man. And then when the Black man got out of jail, he couldn't go back home because they've gotten on subsidized systems. So if you're on a subsidized system and your man comes out of prison, he can't stay with you or you'll lose your system.
But you know what my uncle used to do? My uncle's wife, right? She was in public housing. Guess what? He still came around. He might not. He couldn't stay there legally. But I get what you're saying.
I'm saying,
but he should have got a house. He should have been working on getting a house and moving her out of public housing.
That, sir. I want you to understand that we're telling you there's systems in place and designed to divide us. We can go all the way back to slavery. I just want you to go back to the 70s.
That's all
I'm asking you to understand.
Right. Some people like to think that history has nothing to do with now, and it's just an excuse. But I agree with you. History has a lot to do with it. Yeah. I agree.
So, I know, I'm not saying you don't have a good heart. I'm not saying you're a bad person. What I want you to understand that there's things and templates and everything put in place designed to keep you oppressed, keep you suppressed. And if you're going to promote out of your mouth, we need to have single men and single women.
I'm not saying that.
What are you saying? Because
I'm saying everybody don't. Listen, I'm saying, everyone does not need to be married. Everyone does not need to have kids, right? Because if people who aren't ready to have kids and ready to be married do it prematurely, you're gonna end up with problems, all types of problems, right? So allow people who don't want to have kids because they ain't ready or they don't like kids or whatever to just go and do what they gonna do. And for us that want to be married and have kids, let's do that.
I respect where you're coming from with that. You've said that several times. There's a thing called yin and yang. And in the yin and yang,
the family and the
hold on. Mm-hmm. In the yin and yang, you have a situation of the opposite of what you're saying as well. Because a person who doesn't have any children, I had a cousin who had no children, no nieces, no nephew, and as she got older, nobody was there for her. The family could do so much, but I had my own kids. People who were selfish and self-indulged in this generation, like Tim Brother had said earlier, you're in your 40s and your 50s and you're up here twerking. What example are you being of our people? I understand people don't want to have children. I understand people don't want to get married. But we as a culture, how do we appropriate? How do we grow if we're thinking of the ideology, well, I just don't want to get married and it's okay not to get
let's have 10 kids in the house. Like I remember, listen, my parents, they all had on both sides, eight siblings, right? My parents only had 4 kids. I only have 3, right? I look at my friends, some of them 1, some 2, some. But guess what? We're all capable of having at least 13, like and surviving. The woman surviving that, right? All things being equal. But we're not doing it. You know why? Because we're making educated decisions about managing our parenthood, as you might have said. We're approaching parenthood and family with intelligence. We're mitigating how many kids we have by using contraceptives. Some people, listen, abortion, I ain't gonna get into that, but if you're using something to keep you from having kids, the effect is the same as an abortion. There's not a child being born, right?
Sir, I believe in black family first.
I get you, but what I'm saying is we believe in it, but we're not having 13 kids.
Nobody's having 13 kids.
Right.
Maybe Latinos are, but no other culture are. You have to understand.
Right, because
we are part of the Western civilization, the African Americans who are descendants of slaves who were born in this country. So we gravitate more towards the culture of white Americans, right? So white women weren't having babies and black women weren't having the babies. The point I just want to leave with, so that we understand, because I can tell my family stories and you're telling yours, and I respect you giving your opinion, okay, and your family stories. But the bottom line, as a culture, as a whole, we have to respect and understand each other. And when the topic of this video, going back to the topic of this video, when you have a woman who says she represents her community, even if she doesn't represent the Black people in that role, she still does. And so it looks bad. When I saw Chloe at the BET Awards lap dance that man and everybody glorified that, do you know what it's like? You don't know what it's like to be a dark-skinned Black woman who walks down the street and I got an ass, and you know people are looking at you in a different way, in a different manner. Why? Because the media and those who are in power and those who have a platform like that senator as well as Chloe make us look like we're some kind of object that is able to approach, and that we all think this way. We can't support that antics, and we shouldn't. I hope that the ethics committee go after her, get her out of office, and set an example of what a representative for this country and this state should be.
And my point is that you know, you brought up Chloe. You know, Chloe's an entertainer, and for better or worse, that's what the culture is in terms of entertainment. My main point is that, you know, when you are in public office, you have to carry yourself in a different manner so that you are actually able to go ahead and represent your constituents properly. If you can't do that, then I don't know what else to tell you.
All right, y'all. So what we'll do, we'll go ahead and close out. Hey, everyone, thank you so much for joining. Like, share, subscribe. Until next time, family, dynasty, search for Huru. Peace.